What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Mic Check Podcast, live reaction stream edition going on today. Joined by Sam as always. Sam, happy Friday, buddy.
Happy Friday. We have the game of the season possibly for us so far.
Yeah. Obviously, we all know that I'm a big Buffalo Sabres fan, and Sam is a huge Florida Panthers fan. And obviously, they're facing off right now. We're about to have puck drop. So, we're going to do a live reaction feed to this game today. And obviously, during the intermissions, we're going to go over with other news around the NHL. We've had some trades happen today, a couple days ago, that we just need to recap. But yeah, I mean, looking at this game right now, it's going to be an interesting one because of where these two teams are in the wild card race as of right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be such an interesting game. I think Buffalo has an interesting deal to make because obviously they're a little bit healthier than the Panthers, but they are also coming off a back-to-back against Tampa, an overtime game. So they definitely have a little bit more to deal with, I think, coming into this game than the Panthers do, despite all their injuries. This might be a little bit tougher of a game for Buffalo.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because they played last night too. Big overtime win against Tampa Bay Lightning. Ilya Labushkin. You probably never hear that name, but he was the one who scored the OT winner, which was thrilling for me. But yeah, probably pretty salty for Tampa fans. So the game's starting right now, 0-0. In this game, though, I mean, like you said, you guys have the injuries tonight. There's just a lot going around in your organization for the Panthers, especially seeing, I believe it was Spencer Knight, who's now away from the game for a little bit.
Yeah, that was one of the more surprising things, I think, of the entire year was Spencer Knight dealing with this. Now he's in the player assistance program. Really surprising considering whenever you hear him speak, whenever he's always incredibly eloquent, incredibly well adjusted. So it's just really surprising. I do hope he gets back and healthy soon and figures out
Yeah,
what's wrong.
yeah. Depending on what it is, it's we'll see when we get more information down the road here. But
Definitely.
I'm telling you, this game right now, it's already so hard to like talk. Oh, ooh. Sorry. I know. Okay, well, first off, everybody who's watching, I'm like ahead by like maybe
10
what?
seconds, 10,
Is
15
it
seconds.
10 seconds?
Maybe I'll tell you if I see something crazy going on soon.
Is it really that lagged?
Oh, shit. Oh,
Did you see? Okay, so that's how far off we are.
that's our delay there.
Okay, so this is gonna be a first. This is gonna be a first attempt here. Next time I will probably have to switch over. What are you using? Like ESPN Plus?
I'm using ESPN Plus.
All right. Well, maybe after the first intermission, I'll try and switch over to that. We can be on the same page
We
because I
can
don't
we can give
see
it a
why.
shot.
We'll give it a ringer, but
But
yeah,
for now,
no,
yeah, great chance for the Panthers. They're starting off.
yeah. I don't know how that actually stayed out until we get the replay here or
Mhm.
a stoppage and play.
We'll have to see
That
what
which
Anthony. Oh, well, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say real quick. The Sabres last night they had Eric Comrie in net,
Mhm.
and tonight they have Anderson, which is a little
Anderson.
bit shocking for most Sabres fans because most people are thinking, okay, where UPL was going to play tonight. But it's obviously Anderson getting in the start in net tonight. And I think, honestly, it's kind of a smart decision. You have a back to back road game series here against two teams that you have struggled with in the past, like very much so, especially at their home rinks. I like going with the experience here instead of. I know UPL is young and he's basically going to be in the rotation for the Sabres organization for years to come. But I think giving it to Anderson tonight is kind of the mature move by Kevin Adams.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to have a veteran goaltender in such a high pressure game like this, especially with a young team. You want someone back there to calm everyone down and make sure that everyone's staying level-headed. So I think it makes a smart move, even if Anderson at this stage is not as good of a goalie as maybe UPL is right now. It makes sense just to stick with the veteran presence.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Another interesting storyline of this game is it's Anthony Duclair's first game back. And I
Yeah.
think that for the Panthers, that's, absolutely huge because they've been a team that's struggled to generate offense at times, and he's a guy that can, with his speed, really put defenses back on their heels. And I'm not expecting him to be, 100% tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about that too. Like,
There's going to be some rust, of course.
of
He's got
course.
22 games left in this season to get right, something
Well,
like that.
that and it doesn't help that your top two centers are out for this game.
That's another thing. No Barkov, no Bennett tonight. Going to be a challenge for the Panthers, but I think you have Lundell centering one line and Eetu Lestarian centering another line. I think that those two guys are some of the more underrated centermen in this league, especially Lestarian, who's been such a solidifying presence this year in the bottom six. I think it's fine for a game. Obviously, you're going to miss Barkov and Bennett, but I think they can weather that storm if they just stick to their game plan and work hard. Duclair, it's going to be interesting when he brings this game in particular because you see the replay. Oh man, they almost had that one.
Yeah,
really, right on the doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about what Duclair can bring, you don't need him to be the Duclair of last year in this game particularly. You just need him to be fast, and you need him to put pressure on the Buffalo Sabres defense just to generate some chances. And I don't think he'll finish a chance maybe tonight. You just want him to create as many as he can.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just great that he's back. Tough scenario for first game back. I think it will take him a little bit. I mean, he could still very well come out with a point tonight. I don't doubt that in him just because of the player that he is.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, it's probably less likely for him to have that tonight just due to the circumstances.
Yeah.
But looking at this game so far, I think it's actually been pretty even back and forth. There's been some good zone time for each team on their offensive zone, which is great, and good puck movement. It seems like the Sabres' feet were a little bit dry to start. At least just getting into the pace, not necessarily the pace, but the style of the game. You can say easily that the two Florida teams are different styled, especially just due to the players, the personnel, coaching, and who's available right now. So, even if you played the night before, your legs may be a little bit like fresher in the sense of like getting ready to go. They'll die earlier, but it seems like the Sabres are slowly getting back into their groove, kind of like what they were doing last night. So I think I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty even so far. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a game that's going to be high level. I think there's going to be some good chances both ways. And so far, definitely even. It's going to be interesting to see how Florida looks to counter against those Buffalo Sabres rushes. They're, I think, first in the league in rush goals per game this year. So I think that was sort of Florida's MO last year was let's get some rush chances. So it's going to be interesting to see how they defend that with their new play style, more structured defensively, and if they can sustain against it. We'll see, of course, but I think that's sort of the goal for the Panthers tonight is stay consistent on the cycle and then play smart defensively because Buffalo will pounce on those chances.
Yeah, did you see that chance right there?
There's a great chance.
Yeah, really good look by Mittelstadt to get the puck out to Jack Quinn.
And now, what is that, Lomberg and Dahlin going at it?
I think it was Mittelstadt, to be honest, because if you look, at least through my feed at the end, Dahlin's the one who's pushing Casey Mittelstadt, his own teammate, away from the scrum. Yeah, you can definitely see it's Mittelstadt and who else?
Good luck. Very good luck.
Yeah.
That's sort of something the Panthers are going to have to pay better attention to because those are the types of chances that if they're given up, Buffalo will capitalize. I think they're sort of lucky on that one that it went wide, but you can't be giving up those looks for all game.
Yeah, I will say, too, that, the Sabres get a lot of rushes like you were talking about earlier, but they usually start off by missing, and it's up to them. It's up to them to usually change that. The other night when they played Tampa, so many opportunities, either open ice, whatever it may be. And it seemed like they just could not hit the net. Like they were
Oh,
missing wide. They're trying to go for the the most perfect shot they can get through.
mhm.
When I think earlier in the game, just get the puck on net.
Yeah.
Get those shots on net tallied in the stat book. I think that's a lot better compared to just trying to go for like the little windows that are out there. And I think that's what bites this team from time to time. And I think they really do feed off of their chances. They got to see it go in the net. When they keep missing, and I think it just gets to them mentally. And usually at the end of the day, they don't really produce that many shots on net. It makes the other goaltender look really, really well, stats wise for the night. So it does get to the fans, but I'm pretty sure it does get to the players itself too. So um, yeah, let's talk about though what this game really means playoff wise though.
Sure.
Um, this, it, I mean, let me put it this way: the Sabres were to win tonight. They are, I believe, are holding the last spot in the wild card. I'll have to double check my math. But if the Panthers win, I believe they take the number one seed in the wild card, if I'm
So I'll tell
correct.
you right now. Right now, the Islanders and Detroit hold the top two wild card spots.
Yeah.
Florida's third, and the Islanders have a 3-point advantage. Detroit and Florida are tied, but Florida has 3 more games played. Buffalo is only 2 games back, but with 4 games in hand over Florida. So I
Yes.
think if you look at some advanced metrics, they do favor Florida getting in, but the numbers right now do not bear that out. Right now, they're ahead, but they have way more games played than most teams. I think that's going to be interesting. Is can they capitalize on these types of games? Can to one get them ahead and then put an opponent down? So like these are almost 4-point games in a sense because they're helping out big hit there from Duclair, and then
Yeah.
they're helping themselves out and they're hurting their other opponents in the wild card race. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out. I think right now Buffalo has a pretty clear advantage. They're generating way more chances. So Florida will have to respond quickly.
Yeah, and I think, man, I mean, for me, up until last night, you know, I just don't feel good about it because, like I said, this team has struggled with the Florida teams for the past, you could really say, decade or however long it's been. I think maybe in the past 15 games against Florida teams, they maybe have won one. So that just shows you that they struggle hard.
Yep.
So getting that win last night for the Sabres, especially in Tampa Bay,
Yeah,
was huge, huge.
absolutely.
The fact of how they won it too, even better. Very storybook stuff. I mean, listen, if you see all those turning point like documentaries on seasons and stuff, ooh, somebody almost got one real close in the head there. But yeah, you see all these turning points, and it is Ekblad.
You okay?
It looks like he got smacked right in the face or something.
Ekblad's had
Look,
a pretty injury bad. Oh yeah, look at that.
yeah,
Ekblad's had a pretty bad luck the year with injuries. So hope he's okay.
it looks like it's just a stinger.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess we're headed to a break now.
Yeah, finally, we got the first one here, buddy. But yeah, um, like I said, it was a big momentum win for the Sabres
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and I talked to all my friends out there back in Buffalo, and just family too, and literally just stated what these specifically these two games are going to mean for the organization going forward. This could be like I said, just that turning point of the season where it's like, hey, we went on the road and we beat a two-time Stanley Cup champion or back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, at least been to the Stanley Cup final for what, 3 straight years,
There's right years.
um, and then go to beat a team who has been dominant as of the past couple years and has given the Sabres a lot of just beatings throughout their downtime.
Yeah.
So I think it would be great. Now for the Panthers, yeah, they're still right there. And I already told you guys in the show previously, I still have the Panthers making the playoffs. I honestly should hate the Panthers, right? I mean, unless I'm a Sabres fan. But at the end of the day, I just respect how they've done their upbringing into becoming a good team. They're dealing with injury right now, so if they win tonight, that's a huge win for them because
Yeah.
of all the injuries they have. And going forward, yes, they do have to worry about some other teams out there who have played less games than them. So this is so crucial for them to get a W here as well for the Sabres.
Yeah, and going into this game, I think something to note is that the Panthers have played some of their more complete games of the year against Buffalo. There was a win earlier in the season and the win in the midseason where they looked really like the team they could be against the
Yeah.
Sabres. And so I think going into this game, you think about those two games, do you think, well, if the Panthers come out and play like that, this shouldn't be much of a game. But I think Buffalo looks at that and says, well, we're better than that. And I think that coming into this, they want something to prove. They have something to prove, and whether they will and whether the Panthers will keep that streak alive against Buffalo, it remains to be seen. But I think those are two things to look out for, definitely.
Well,
And
real quick,
power play here.
I don't know why they're on the power play. I missed that completely.
Krebs got a hooking call on that
Okay.
Ekblad shot.
Okay, got you. But
I don't. Yeah.
well, I'll say this: Buffalo usually has a pretty, really, really, really bad PK. Good power play, but bad PK. I think the Panthers are about at least they're top 20, right, in the power play.
Yeah, they're 14th right now in the power play. They're on a really cold streak right now, I will say, on their power play, and it's not so much process; it's more just that the pucks just aren't going in.
Yeah.
Lucky, bad bounces, whatever. They had a really good power play earlier in the year, and if they can get back to that, that'd be great. But right now,
this would definitely be one to do it against. 31st ranked PK, not good. Good save there by Anderson. Gets the puck down. 27 seconds left in the power play here. I believe Tkachuk had a good attempt at that. Yeah, I mean, seeing Duclair though on the power play here,
it's going to help.
It's going to help. I like that he's getting all this ice time for his first game back.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, I know obviously he needs to be due to people being out, but get him back and going.
No, I agree. The more ice time he can get, the better. And it's nice to see Paul Maurice give him that ice time. I think this is a guy in Duclair that I think coaches like Maurice tend to disregard because of their defensive lapses from time to time. So I think these like sort of offensive first players are kind of guys that tend to slip through and sort of get pushed aside in Paul Maurice type systems that are very defensive focused. So it's nice to see him getting trust early on. And I hope he sticks with it because Duclair is just too talented to, to ride the bench.
Wow. Here we go. Tkachuk and Krebs.
Going at it?
They're going at I know you're delayed. I got to give it to you right now, though.
But
just an incredible sequence, first off. Huge breakaway.
Yeah.
Stop by.
I'm on this breakaway.
Wow.
Stop from Sergei. And then
dude, immediately Tkachuk goes right after. He's like, nope, all right, this is my opportunity. We're in a scrum. Let's get this thing stirring. Let's start stirring the pot a little bit here.
But you're seeing how Buffalo can steal this game is just creating sense like that. Because, I mean, that's a wide open breakaway.
It is. And obviously, I don't think against Sergei you can really do the moves. I think you just got to shoot. I think that's the way to beat him on breakaways there. Obviously, good luck. I mean, you're not going to score them all every time you're on a breakaway, but good sequence there.
Very good.
Good for the Sabres. Gets shots on net there. Gets the pressure going. But at the end of the day, good response by Matty Tkachuk right there. I mean, that's the reason you guys made the trade for him.
Tkachuk, man.
That's the reason why you guys made the trade, though. I mean, that's the type of stuff that's like, hey, yeah, even though you guys took advantage of us there and almost had a breakaway goal, yeah, our goalie stopped it, and I'm going to give you some more there, which I love seeing that from a young player, especially after that trade you guys made.
Yeah, there's that, and the fact that he's a 24-year-old superstar that's scoring 1.2 points per game. That definitely helps.
Pretty cool as well, right? I'll throw it in there too. You see the guy that Tkachuk's going after there, Peyton Krebs, guys. Really good player. He's very young, and just slowly getting into his NHL career. But he's kind of started to realize, yeah, he may have been projected to be like a top center in the league, um, try and be the offensive player, whatever it may be, but he's understanding his role now, which is great. He's a very physical guy for being a smaller player in this league, but I just love how he just doesn't take shit from anybody. I think that's a great mentality to have, especially for a team that's been getting abused for years and years and years. So he's starting to become, I don't know, maybe try and get that rat mentality like a Brad Marchand, like a Matty Kachuk, just a guy that people are going to hate to play against. Or at least if you do something stupid, you can count on Peyton Krebs to respond. Outside of that, though, he's still very young and learning. Sabres are actually on the power play now due
Aren't
to
they going to
that.
power play?
I believe Kachuk is in for roughing. 4-minute
Yeah.
penalty for roughing, but
Oh,
wait.
did you get the double minor there for
Yeah, you got the
instance?
double minor there, yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
Sabres are on the power play
wait.
here.
Let's see. No, okay. Yeah, Peyton Krebs gets a rough, and then yes, they gave Kachuk a double minor. I see. So this is
Yes.
going to be in. This is a great opportunity, I think, with the momentum going their way after that breakaway. I think this is
Yeah.
really a good chance to start off strong for Buffalo.
And obviously you're delayed. They had some good zone time already. Buffalo's actually ranked sixth in the
And
PP
power play.
in the power play.
The
So
Panthers'
they're
penalty kill has been bad too. So
yeah. So good opportunity here. Obviously, anytime you have your point of Rasmus Dahlin, and then you've got Victor Olofsson and Tage Thompson on the sides there, it's gonna be
pretty
it's
good.
gonna be pretty good. Let's get some good opportunities here. I think usually the thing that the Sabres do bite with is they just need to be a setup type of power play unit. That's where they score their goals. They're never really a rush, carry and rush zone situation, power play. Like, they never score on that. They need to get set up, get Darlene, getting it to Olofsson and Thompson, which they are trying to do so right now. And they're doing pretty well of keeping the Panthers away. They're just doing a little bit extra right now. But Skinner just had a pretty good look there. Pretty good. Yeah, but for Sabres fans out there, I think beforehand we did not have Thompson and Olofsson both on the same power play. I believe it was Dylan Cousins on there, and it might have been, I'm trying to think who else was on it, but they had recently made the change to bring Olofsson
Wow,
on the top power play unit. Yeah, it was a good look there
hit
by
a
Skinner.
post.
Yeah, it was close, very very close.
Tuck, Tuck almost had one.
Yeah, so but now that they have those two back on it for the one timers in both directions, I mean, that's just a deadly force if they can get it set up. Now, outside of it, like I said, if they're just trying to rush, yeah, we all know Tage Thompson can do whatever. Olofsson, I don't know if he's really that player where he can take advantage and deke people out and make the right, correct moves. So we got 15 seconds left in this power play. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good looks by the Sabres, but even better job by the Panthers there, and they just had a really good rush opportunity there. Kyle Okposo gets stopped once again by Sergey. So they're getting the rushes. Sabres are looking good right now. I know they're still in the power play. I think their offense looks great. The only thing I'm worried about down the road in this game is if it's tight, is their legs are going to go out maybe in the third period, and they
Yes,
might not be themselves just because they played last night.
I do. I do think that's a factor here is how much energy they have left. They're obviously coming out right now with a lot of energy, and they're coming out with a lot of speed, and that's great. But if the Panthers can survive this,
Oh, here we go. Breakaway, Panthers. Oh, off the post. I'm sorry, buddy. I had to bring that up. I
that's
know.
it's okay.
We're gonna change. We're gonna change over to ESPN Plus on this second period. But let me know when you see it. Take a look at
I see
that
the
one.
breakaway. Who was that? Was that? Oh wow, Denisenko.
Yeah.
Honestly, Grigory Denisenko, extremely talented young player. I do think he has a future in the NHL. He's been playing well. It just seems like the coaching staff does not trust him enough to give him consistent ice time in the
Yeah.
NHL, and I think he's earned it. He's still looking for that first goal, but he's doing all the right things that a player needs to do to get those that extra opportunity.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I mean, we've had some posts already in this
Yes,
game, and that's
big
by
chance.
both teams, which is very exciting. I mean, this is it's story. It's getting storybooked right now to be
It's a great start to this game, and
very great start. It's so funny too. I put out my tweet today, just saying, "Hey, we're doing this live stream, our reaction, that type of stuff." And the amount of Detroit fans that started saying, "Don't go to overtime. Don't go to overtime."
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love it because I mean, this race is just so close, and I love. Honestly, I think it's great for hockey.
it is.
That it's not just three teams trying to make a last spot. It's the two spots are
17.
wide open.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
wide open to take by. Let's see, who's all in the race still? Islanders, um,
Red Wings, Panthers,
Panthers, Sabers,
Sabres, Penguins, Capitals, and
Penguins,
then
Cap.
maybe Ottawa.
I'm going to count Ottawa out.
Yeah, that's
But six teams that they don't have like a, they're all right there is basically what I'm
yeah,
getting at.
yeah.
No one's set in stone to be in the playoffs, and
Yeah,
you
we
got
thought
what,
Pittsburgh was
20
kind of
something games left? 20
no,
something games
more.
left by all these teams.
Yeah, little 20 for the most part, at least 20. Yeah,
I'm telling you, the last week and a half of the NHL season is going to be absolutely nuts from the Eastern side.
it's going to be great, and I think that does not bode well for the Panthers because I do have a very tough end to their
Oh,
season schedule.
Sabres have the hardest remaining schedule in the NHL.
Their last three games for the Panthers, the last three games specifically, are Washington, Toronto, and Carolina. So I think if it comes down to those last three games, the Panthers are at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know where the Capitals are going to be.
Of course, the Capitals.
Well, we'll see after the trade deadline what happens. I mean, we'll talk about that in the first intermission report, I guess we'll call it.
Yes, we have
Uh,
a couple
but
weeks until the deadline. It's been a good deadline so far.
it has because we've had a lot of just action and movement
So much action.
literally before the last usually the last 3 days is where everything starts to pick up. But I mean, it started off with the bank. I mean, what was the first trade? Like the first crazy one? Was it the
It was Bo Horvat.
yeah, which nobody saw coming from the Islanders. So yeah, I'm getting a second look here at that breakaway opportunity. That's a beautiful look.
Yeah, I am rooting for him. I think Denisenko is a really good talent.
Yeah, I'll tell you too. I'm not a big fan with the Sabres doing their three goalie tandem
Mm-hmm.
thing. I've said that before. Ooh, getting some help there. Bad deflection. But anyways, yeah, like I said though earlier today, good for them going with Anderson tonight. Just because he's got the experience.
Yeah.
But I will say, like Comrie the other night, I know we won. He had such a hard time just tracking the puck. It was just annoying to watch. But hopefully Anderson has a better, just tracking, just mindset. And I know he's an older guy. He doesn't have the reaction time that he used to have. But at least he's got that high hockey IQ against a pretty skillful Panthers team.
Yes.
I think that's huge. And obviously, you just see them making opportunities out of nothing, getting breakaways and able to, hit posts. And once you start hitting posts, all the goaltenders start to get a little nervous.
I think everyone starts to get a little nervous when you start hitting posts. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I think, there's definitely a lot of energy in this game, which is exciting to see. I do worry for Buffalo coming off a back to back. How much of this can they put up? Because I think right now they're being the better team. But
Will it sustain though?
Will it sustain for 3 periods? I think.
I'm telling you right now, third period, their legs are gonna die.
Yeah,
Unless for some reason something else happens in the game that just motivates them or gets like a second dosage of adrenaline kicked into their system.
Yeah.
If it's a fight or if it's something like that, but if it's just this normal pace game we're watching right now, I think their legs die in the third period.
Well, I guess the question then is, can they get a 2 or 3 goal lead going into the third, sort of give them a cushion if their legs do die and they just
Sergey looks good right now. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's looking good because the Sabres have tested him so far.
I will
At
tell
least
you that Sergey of late has been excellent. These last few starts post All-Star break, I think he's been one of the best. Wait, not post All-Star break. Post All-Star break. He's been definitely one of the better goalies. One of his best stretches as a Florida Panther. You know, he's looking like Vezina Bob.
He's looking like he's worth $10 million.
Like he's worth $12 million. A 3-week stretch or whatever, but it's nice to see. You know, I don't know how long it's going to sustain until he starts to revert back to Florida Bob of years past. Might Florida be Bob.
I love it.
Sunshine Bob.
Sunshine Bob.
Maybe if he can keep it just, until now and then the playoffs, that'll be good to see.
Yeah. Just watching this right now. I'll tell you, also, both teams, they can get physical when they want to. But I know the Sabres, they have, they'll have a tendency to sometimes go a little bit quiet, and not be able to continue that aggressiveness, on a weekly basis. But I think that's just part of them being young. Mm-hmm. So, obviously I want the Sabres to make the playoffs so bad because I haven't seen playoffs since 2011. But, the future is just bright for this team.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. As soon as they get, their prospects that are in their system now, once those guys get here and, give 2 years under their belt, and then you have, your young guys on this team now, Peterka, Quinn, Cousins, Tage Thompson. Once those guys are, in their prime of the NHL and our prospects that are with us now are just getting into the NHL, that team is going to be filthy.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, you guys, we've talked about it before. Buffalo's definitely ahead of schedule in this season. They have playoff aspirations now. And even if they don't make it, it shouldn't be deemed a failure because coming to the season, I don't think it was even a discussion.
No, I think it's perfect for them to be where they are right now, but it'd be the icing on the cake and for them to make it. Just because of how hard this team seems to be working and just how well they do off the ice too. During All-Star break, these guys are all together going on vacation to the Bahamas, or they go visit Darlene at the All-Star game. It's just they're a close team and
good vibes team.
Yeah, and you love to see it. And I think down the road, like I said, when those young prospects they have now get to the NHL level, it's going to be great. And Krebs with a nice hit there. Just being a physical guy. Once again, guys, Peyton Krebs, I love this guy's play. He's at it again. He's just you'll see the sequence. He just went over to the corner and just got his arms up, tried to push on, and then he goes all the way across the ice to the blue line and starts hitting again. I think he just threw another hit. Dude, Peyton Krebs is having the shift of his lifetime right now, physicality-wise. And like I said, this guy was listed as, okay, he's just an offensive talent. And I love that he understands his role now, and he's been able to make the change. Look at him again, just going after all these guys who are so much bigger than him.
Yeah, the Panthers have maintained zone time for a little bit here, which is nice to see.
They have.
With Duclair out there, I think that's good. Whether they'll be able to capitalize, we'll see. It doesn't seem – time is running out here in this period. Pretty competitive first period, I got to say. I think the Panthers definitely look sharper towards the second half of that. So specifically toward the end, they look much, much sharper. And I think that's good. It makes sense with the little rust with the break they were just having. Makes sense.
Yeah. And like I said, too, the Sabres will go through these stretches where they just can't get out of their zone. But as of recent, especially last night, anytime I see guys go, what an opportunity,
Oh,
You gotta let me know when you see this.
I'll let you know. I mean, they're about to take that face off now. 14 seconds left in the period.
I'm just gonna wait for you to watch it.
I will watch it. So Tony Carter. Oh man, E2.
Wow.
Right on the doorstep. That's good. I mean, that's what I was saying. Obviously, wow. That's a good look.
Yeah.
That line, Kachuk, Verhaeghe, and Lustarnen, it's obviously not a proper NHL top line, but for a game, they can definitely string it
Oh,
together if you rely on Kachuk and get things going.
here we go.
What's that? 8 seconds?
Oh, he's just doing his thing. I like I said, I should hate the Panthers, but I respect this guy's game so much.
Yep, they're going at it.
Oh yeah.
Chuck.
See, I mean, and it's just a little thing. Like Thompson's just trying to like, all right, I'm just gonna sauce the puck over to the other zone, just the end of the period. But I
Chippy
love
game
how
too.
Matty Kachuk is just like, oh no, let me get in there. It's like you can't do that. This is our break. This is what I'm gonna do. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, that's gonna bring us to the first intermission here, guys. I mean, from what I saw, I think at towards the end of the period, Panthers started to take over. I believe just with at least offensive zone time, but not a really bad period by any of these teams. We had some
No.
penalties, we had some power plays, PKs, good responses from all, good looks on the power plays,
Yeah.
just even better goaltending. And it seems like right now both goaltenders are really come up with some good saves and stop some really good opportunities, which is great to see. So the first period out, done and over with. What did you see in that first period, buddy?
I think what I saw is two teams that are definitely understanding the importance of this game, and I think looking sharp and rising to the occasion. So I think it's been a great start to this game. Obviously, just a few bounces that could have gone another way, a few posts that went a
Oh,
few inches the
absolutely.
other way. This could be a 2-1 game, for instance, right? But 0-0 seems about right.
Yeah, and I think goalies. I mean, we've seen Sergey and also just Anderson. I mean, just it seems like they're coming out and they're really challenging those shots, and as they should because of just these big time offensive players that both teams seem to have. I think I got to look at the hit stats. It's a pretty physical game though too. I mean, little
Definitely.
chippiness after each and every puck drop. It just throughout the game too. People are finishing their checks. Like, I guess that's what I was trying to get at a little bit earlier. Is I think the Sabres eventually will become a team that just goes out and have their star players be able to put hits, finish your checks, just simple hockey, right? And I think
Mhm.
a team like the Panthers have been doing that for some time. That hence why they are successful. Yeah, I can't really say much other than that though. Based on the first period, we'll see what happens in the second, especially with the fatigue level for the Sabres. We'll see if it starts to wear and tear towards the end of the period. I would hope it doesn't come at the beginning because then I'd be like, yep, we're definitely in trouble. But
Yes.
yeah. Do you got anything else, or do you want to talk about what's been going on in the league here?
Let's talk about some stuff around the league.
I love it because we've had a lot of stuff happen. Lots of trades. Had a trade today too. But let's go. What do you want to start with? The O'Reilly trade, or
Yeah, let's start there.
might as well get the salt right on the wound there, because that killed me.
Oh,
Obviously, Ryan O'Reilly traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and surely
oh,
enough, his first goal as a Maple Leaf was against the Sabres in the Sabres arena, home building. I know I'm mopey, blah, 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 blah. But, anyways, yeah, no, he really did have a great performance the other night against Buffalo, getting a hat trick,
shit.
with the Maple Leafs. And I'm just telling you right now, I would hope that the Toronto Maple Leafs get by the first round this year, because if they don't, with that starting three or those three centers and their starting lineup, it seems like that's got to be the best best center lineup in hockey right now, right? Nothing comes close.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
He's your
you know,
third
look,
line center.
yeah, and he's definitely overqualified as a third line center. What I find so fascinating and also kind of infuriating is just how bad he was before this trade and how just reinvigorated and
We've seen
re-energized
this
he was.
before, though.
I mean,
We've
yes,
seen this
nothing new.
before, where I mean, same thing with Buffalo. I mean, he was down the road. Oh, I've lost the love of the game. Is that type of stuff comes out. He's not the stats guy that he normally was, and gets traded to St. Louis, and obviously a little bit different scenario. I mean, he didn't have the immediate success. Took over late in the season, and then goes out and wins the Stanley Cup, and he's the MVP, right?
Yeah,
So that right there itself, any single time you have an MVP from from the Stanley Cup final added to your team and is a third line center, that is absurd.
it
The
is.
fact that they got that trade done, um, great for Toronto. I don't see this being a bad trade for Toronto whatsoever, because they are a team that has been talked about reaching the Stanley Cup for years now, ever since Matthews got there, ever since Nylander got there, and Marner. That has been the talk of this team, and but they've been early exit every single time. I have no problem with them going out and getting a Stanley Cup champion to be your third line center. And his first game in the league or with that team, he goes out and gets a hat trick. He had two
Mhm.
goals in like the first 5 minutes of the
They're
first
like 30
period.
seconds apart. I mean,
It was
unbelievable.
absolutely ridiculous. And the thing is, he's not being asked a lot of. He's in that perfect scenario. Yeah, third line, I can easily operate when I need to, and he's got the playoff experience for when they get there. I think it's a perfect move for Toronto, and I think you need to go out and make this move. Just you can't sit tight and hope for rookies and other small trades to work out for you to get you success. I believe they're also going to struggle because I believe Muzzins is out too for the year now,
Yeah.
so they need to continue offense if they're losing defense. I
Mhm.
think it's a great trade for Toronto, even though I really do hate them.
No, I get it. And I think when I saw this trade, I was sort of shocked by the price they gave. Obviously, they got Noel Chari too, a nice depth. Another overqualified player for them. He's going to play on their fourth line. Definitely overqualified as a fourth liner. He's a great grinder in that bottom six, but I think it's a great ad for them. I think that when I saw this price, a first, a second, and a third for those two players, I was pretty shocked because I thought Ryan O'Reilly at this stage, at that price, that dude, I mean, I thought he was cooked, honestly. I thought they'd get maybe a second
Yeah,
or a third for him to get a first as well. I think I was like, wow, Toronto paid up. And it looks like it's paying off because he's playing like Ryan O'Reilly of 3 years ago, Stanley Cup champion Ryan O'Reilly, who was determined for this. So I think it's going to be interesting for Toronto here. I mean, this is definitely a make or break year in a lot of ways for them. And I think this is the type of player who is now happy. Another one of those Toronto hometown types who is
yeah,
just, obviously so happy to be back in the city where they grew up.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, even though, like I say, this is great for Toronto, do I think it's going to get them to the Stanley Cup? Probably not.
Probably not. They have to run through Boston.
They have to run through Boston. I think once you get the Tampa Bay crowd going, that and just their experience, there will be a hard team to get by
Mm-hmm.
easily. I mean, you look at Carolina too. They can easily make noise. It's just I think the East is very, very. Well, what's your opinion? Do you think the East or the West is harder to climb through in the to get to the
Def-
Stanley Cup?
Definitely the East.
Yeah, I was about to say there. I don't think it's
It's not really.
it's competition. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that there's just a lot more juggernauts in the East. So
Yeah, I mean, how many
yeah,
teams, how many true Stanley Cup champions are in the East versus the West? I mean, you have in the East Carolina, Boston, Tampa, and maybe Toronto, and
yeah,
then also some sleeper ones like New York and New Jersey, some sleeper teams, and then the West. Colorado, Dallas.
Yeah.
Winnipeg feel great about those matched up. It's not the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
not.
Winnipeg hasn't been the same either, too.
Yeah.
They've been struggling hard. But you mentioned Boston. They made a
Mhm.
trade today too. You want to tell us about that?
Dmitry Orlov headed
Yeah.
to Boston. I think this is an interesting one. What's funny is Minnesota acted as a third team in this just to facilitate it.
Yeah.
And they took 50% of Orlov's salary, and Washington took the other half. So Boston is paying $0 for Dmitry Orlov.
Yeah.
Just and they gave up another first, so good return from Washington. But I just think it's funny when teams do this. They have a strength defense in the case of Boston.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to round out other aspects of their game that are not as strong, they just go all in and say, let's just make our strongest aspect even stronger.
Yeah.
And so they got another great defensive depth defenseman who plays strong in his own end and can provide a little bit of offense, secondarily speaking. I think, it's a great move. Another great piece for a team that's already the best team in the league
Yeah.
and will continue to be.
I don't know how, from the Capitals side, you make that trade. I really don't, because I know they got stuff going on right now in their locker room with Ovechkin being out and, that type of stuff. And they're obviously not the most flashiest team, struggling to get that last wild card spot. But yes, you get return on this, but you're sending your players to the same conference and you're sending it to Boston, a team that, yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily huge rivals, but they have history with each other. I just don't know how you. I would have thought they would have made this trade to go out to the West. Is basically what I'm getting at, and I thought they would try and get a better return. Now, let's be real. What is a first? I know a first round pick is a first round pick, but it's going to be a very, very late pick
It
in the
will.
first round. So there's that. First off, you're making Boston pay none of the cap on
$0.
which is ridiculous. So essentially, you're giving them even more benefit of the doubt to try and go out and win a Stanley Cup, right? I mean, I know you're happy with getting your picks, but I just don't see morally how you can send that to a team like Boston. I obviously don't know what other options there were if they were trying to include Orlov in those deals to other teams. I would think there's had to be a better deal, though. There would have to be.
It's a good
deal.
return. I mean,
it is, but like,
I know it's a late first, but considering this is going to be a pure rental from Boston, because I don't think they'll have the cap to re-sign him in the offseason.
No,
because they have to deal with the Pasternak re-signing and all these other things that they'll have to deal with. Bergeron's retiring, Krejci's going to retire, so they're going to have to fill 2 center holes.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll have the cap to re-sign him. Is my point. I think for a pure rental to get a first-round pick for a defenseman that's not going to play on your top pair, that might not even play on your second pair. He's sort of a good second pair, overqualified third pair. If a first-round pick is pretty good.
Do you think that there wasn't another team that could have given him better? Could have given the Capitals a better return? I'm trying to think who would be interested. I don't know. I mean,
would maybe someone like Edmonton have given them first? I don't think so, because Ken Holland's pretty stingy with his firsts.
Yeah.
I don't think Toronto would have. They just got rid of O'Reilly, or they just got O'Reilly with their first. I don't know how many other suitors there were that were willing to give up a first round pick specifically.
So with Boston not taking any cap on there, do you think that means? Do you think they're done now with trade deadline?
They got rid of Craig Smith. They got rid of the first. I don't think they're necessarily done.
I mean, do you think that was a strategy point there to not retain anything so they can go out and get others? I mean, I just find that odd.
I do think you're kind of right, because to get no salary back, they paid.
It's insane. It's insane.
They definitely paid more. So yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. There's probably more moves to be had, or at least the possibility of more moves, even if it's something smaller.
I mean, like you said too, with Bergeron on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's probably in the office too, being like, "You got to go out and get this guy. This is my last run here. We got to
Come
make
on,
something
get back.
happen real quick. I like this kid. Get him here." So, but I will say, and we were talking about this before we started the stream. What does this mean for the Capitals, though?
You
Does this
know,
mean that their season's over with? Because I was telling you, I started to hear some rumors that now they could be a front runner for Jacob Chikrin. Like he would make a fine addition to the team. He's a younger guy too. Um, is this a move because they've given up, or is this a move because they want to add someone better?
you know what I've learned? Hockey general managers are delusional.
That's right.
This is another report where they're making moves to sell, as in to retool and rebuild. Like this is a move to rebuild, right? You're getting rid of a quality player who would
Should
help
be.
you with your push. You get a
Yeah.
first round pick, a push for later, and now you're thinking about, oh, we'll get Jacob Chikrin here. Like
Yeah.
what? Why would you do that? What kind of move is that? That's insane. I heard a similar story now with the Blues, who are trying to retool. They're trying to get Timo Meyer, and they're willing to give up 2 first round picks for Timo Meyer. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
See, Lewis, that's ridiculous.
I
So I
agree,
think
buddy.
with if your question is what is Washington doing, the answer is I don't know. I don't.
No.
Because do they want to give Ovi another cup window? That's not a move to give Ovi a cup window.
Yeah.
Do they want to retool? That would make sense. I mean, this for them, I think this sort of era is coming to an end. I think, but what are they doing? I mean, are they going to try and compete just with one less good defenseman? That doesn't make any sense.
No,
So I
it
don't.
doesn't. It doesn't. And I just find that so odd. Like,
It's odd.
yeah, I don't know. I just can't get my head around that trade in particular. Like, for who they traded their players to, the return they got, and then to be rumored to go after different personnel.
I don't
I mean,
understand.
all right. If you're Ovechkin though, what's your message to the front office? Like, seriously, are you pissed? Are you pissed if you're Alexander Ovechkin? I mean, I know a lot of things are going on in his life right now.
Yeah,
So
I think he's got bigger issues on the grand.
bigger issues, yeah.
But I think just on this move, I wouldn't be happy with this move if I was Ovechkin. Especially if there's no clear direction, no clear plan in place, which there doesn't seem to be. I think that's the biggest thing, right? If you want to just make some moves, get rid of some veterans to get
I
something.
know. So
return,
now,
that's fine. But
my mind's
what?
going all over the
Are they
place
going to
right
use
now.
that pick
But
to
like,
get Chikrin? But they just
but
retain salaries, so
here's the thing.
there's no room.
I get that, but now like this is how my mind works. It's freaking nuts. But I'm starting to think about Ovechkin now. Is he the type of player to be like, I won my cup, I'm just going for the goal record? Is he that type of player? Or is he still the guy that's like, no, I still want to try and win another Stanley Cup? If so, is he now going to think, what does Washington have for me? Is there a window? Could you imagine if he didn't score, like if he gets the record and it's not in a Washington Capitals uniform? Could you imagine that?
It's interesting. It is interesting.
Trades like this, dude, I feel like give you that type of thought as a player. It's like, all right, you're basically saying we're done for this season, and all of our guys are old. We don't have anybody new coming up that's going to make an immediate impact. What does this mean for my team going forward?
Yeah, I think Washington's in an interesting spot, right? You think with a guy like Alexander Ovechkin, a win now player in his mid to late 30s, you'd think they'd make more moves to win now. And yet they do stuff like this. And yet they go out and they get Dylan Strome. That's a move for what?
Yeah.
It's things like that make you question what they're really thinking. And, I maybe would be kind of questioning what Alex Ovechkin is thinking, because you have this generational goal scorer who's always giving you a chance to win, and yet you're not helping him win.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like I said though, do you think I'm just trying to get into his mind. Do you
Mhm.
think with his age, do you think he's solely just focused on what's better for my legacy? To try and go after and get a cup or just to be on the team that drafted me and get the goal scoring record? I think I honestly think being a Stanley Cup champion and having the goal record is actually probably more important to his legacy than just being a two-time Stanley Cup champion. What are your thoughts?
I think if you push me on it, I obviously don't know, but
Yeah.
I would think that, he's thinking, hey, I won a cup. My life is here. I've set up my life here.
Yeah.
My goal is to score as many goals as I can and walk off into the sunset. Cup would be great, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I have other things that are important to me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would think really if you push me on it, I think he probably is just happy to stay and not move and be
Yeah.
a middling team where he scores 50 goals every year.
Yeah. I don't think he's in the position like Patrick Kane is, where it's like, hey, I'm just getting old now. I just want to go and try and win one more cup.
Mhm.
It's, hey, I've been with this organization for a long time, as Kane has, but
Mhm.
I have an opportunity to do something even better for this organization and be the all-time goal scorer for the face of the NHL, and it's for the Capitals who took a chance on me, drafted me. Like you can go through that whole spiel. Um, so yeah, I mean, really just interesting stuff, and it's just different good outlooks to look at here and see what GMs are thinking, what players think after trades. Just interesting stuff. But we're back here in the second period.
We are.
Actually, we've had both teams have had good chances so far.
Mhm.
Like it's only been 2 minutes, but
Right, picking up where we left
yeah,
off.
I was about to say we're right off
Yeah.
from the
One more
last
point on
play.
Ovechkin. I think if they bottom out towards that end of the contract, you could see maybe him being a deadline ad for some team, like Patrick Kane is in a few years. But
Yeah,
that's only if they're bottoming out, like Chicago is this year. If they're still middling like they are now,
I don't think they would though if he was close to getting the record.
yeah, fair enough.
I There's no way you can do that. Like you have him for your whole career and just be like, all right, we'll buy him out now. And if he's like 20 goals away from getting the record, and
Man,
then
wouldn't
he's
that
just
be
wearing
fun?
some other jersey and he gets it, you gotta be like, oh damn, that's kind of sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, Patrick Kane won 3 Stanley Cups, and they're looking to move him.
Oh yeah, no, I get that, but I mean, I think it's a little bit different in just having your name, your jersey represent the entire league in goal scoring for your career. Like I
Yeah,
think that's a little bit different than the team aspect of being a Stanley Cup champion, you know?
that makes sense. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, we'll have to see. I
yeah.
wonder.
All right, well, let's see. Oh, there goes Kachuk again, getting physical, doing a nice little back check there, which we love to see.
Well,
Panthers seemed like they're going back and forth here too with the Sabres. They're getting a lot of offensive zone time right now, which is really good for them.
have you switched over to ESPN Plus? Or are you still
I
going to
have
be on?
not. I can do that real quick though.
No,
Let's
no.
try.
I'm just wondering how much time is left on on
It's
your.
probably like 17 minutes now, or
I'm
17
at
over 17.
I'm
But
at 16:43 right now.
oh, you are.
16:39.
Wait, let me go back. Let me go back. Hold up. For you viewers out there, you're probably like, what am I watching right now? Some guy doesn't know how to use the remote. Let's see. You're at what? 16 what?
16:39 face off just now. 16:38.
I'm at 16:18.
Oh, so you're yeah
Yeah.
20 seconds ahead. Noted. All right, so hopefully someone's going to break through in this period. When was the last time we had a game that was like a 1-0 shootout win? So no goals actually scored? I'd like to know. Oh, well,
There we go.
yeah, there's one.
There's one.
That shit,
I was waiting
we'll never
on
know.
it. Um,
guess we'll never know.
This right
Yeah,
here, guys.
hands off the rush. Jeff
Yeah,
Skinner.
it's this line. It's this line, guys. It's one of the best in the NHL. Just look at the IQ here from Thompson. Gets the puck going in. He's probably not even. Most people wouldn't even think to give Skinner that puck way on the outside there.
Great move from Thompson there.
Great dish out, and we all know that any single time Jeff Skinner has an opportunity to shoot the puck on net, he will. It's just that's his nature. He's not usually your assist guy. He's your let me try and just put this in the net due to what my teammates do. That's his 23rd goal of the season, guys. I know a lot of people just with his career saying, hey, $9 million is way too much, which in my opinion, it still is.
It is.
Just because he is just if he didn't have Thompson and Tuck on his line and we're dealing with like Cousins and something like that, I don't know. I mean, I still think he would have the goals. I don't know about the assists though, necessarily. But yeah, he can feed off of really good individual players. His first year with the Sabres had 40 goals. That's kind of basically due to Jack Eichel at the time. Just being a really good setup man. So Dylan Cousins had a great look there. Great save by Sergey. Great save. And you know what? Listen, those saves right there. It was on Peterka, my bad. Good dish by Cousins to Peterka. Those are the big saves you need there, especially after giving up a goal. That's a great way to respond. So good for them. Anyways, back to Jeff Skinner. I think he's slowly getting back into his role. I think he, like I said, not deserving of $9 million still, but easily I would say he's a $8 million player. Maybe 7.5, something like that. And that just shows you that the deals that Cousins and Thompson got for the Sabres at like 7.1 per year for 7 years is ridiculous. So what did you see on the goal there? What did you see in the game's first score?
It's an area we talked about the Panthers being vulnerable and that it was a strength for the Sabres all year. And you see it again now. The Panthers were on their heels. They committed to the puck way too early. Tage Thompson obviously had a great move there, so credit to him. But I think the Panthers committed to the puck too early, and they gave Jeff Skinner a great shooting lane, and he capitalized instead of just like. And so I think this is sort of going to be the story of tonight is a great look there that they miss. Can the Panthers limit their rush chances and play this sort of defensive shutdown style hockey that they want to play? I don't know. I don't think this team is suited for that. I think they're much more suited to play the way the Sabres play.
You'll see it here in a little bit. Really good rush opportunity there before the whistle by the Panthers. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what the Sabres need though, because in this type of game, like we've been talking about, their legs could go in the third period. So we talked about how the Sabres need to get a lead if they want to come out and win this game. I don't think they're going to be in the scenario where if they're down going into the third, they're going to have at least percentage-wise the best opportunity to come out and win this game. Good by the Sabres to start the momentum. Let's not count out the Panthers yet. They're still playing hard. I mean, this is a back and forth game. It is a back and forth game right now. Very early. The fact that we didn't have a goal in the first period is actually kind of insane to me. But no, I mean, it's been a real entertaining game. I will say though, both goalies, when they can, they are stopping the puck as they should. They're not taking any opportunities to be like, okay, let's dish it out to my D-man next to me and keep the play going. They are stopping the pace of play every moment they get, which I think is smart for these two highly offensive teams here. I mean, so much talent, so much deadly force that can be used by like both their defensemen, their wingers. I think it's really smart that these goaltenders are stopping the puck when they can.
Yeah, freezing it. They don't want to keep this play going. I mean, they want to slow it down, which is interesting, especially for the Sabres' point of view, because I think for them, I would think they'd want to move that puck and keep it moving, keep the Panthers guessing on their heels. But I think they're comfortable, actually. Anderson specifically as a veteran goaltender, just using the opportunity to calm everyone down and make sure everyone's
I think that's what it is too. Is even though you're kind of stopping play and maybe keep your guys from going off, I think it's going to save them too. Because I mean, if you have them go through a period of just constant rushes, especially when they played last night,
Hmm.
they will be dead
Yeah.
in that final 5 minutes, even if they're up. You know, and at the end of the day, even if they're up one goal and they got 5 minutes, 2 minutes left, whatever it may be,
Hmm.
as long as the Panthers, if they were to get offensive puck possession, empty net, extra man, they'll be able to outwork them because their legs will be dead.
Yeah.
So that's what they got to look at now. And I'll put it this way too: now that the Sabres are up, the Panthers, I believe, are gonna try and get little chips in during after the whistle. You'll see Kachuk start to like try and go after guys here and there, which is why I love him so much. But it's a strategic way of getting back into the game. Have start off with like little chips, maybe a little love tap by the stick, get the other team upset, and then from there you could trigger a penalty or whatever it may be. Go to the box. Even getting 4-on-4 could be another huge advantage. Just opening up the ice that much for your team, yeah, it's another opportunity for you to find a way to try and score. So I
Mhm.
think now they can start to play mind games with the Sabres and try and get them to, maybe do a little bit extra than what they wanted to do in this period with a lead.
That makes sense. I've I've never been a subscriber to the idea of a great way to get back in the game is to get physical and to start, riling up people. I just never think that that's a strategy that it condones, good winning, because when you're taking all that energy to start being chippy, you're taking away energy to score goals. And when you're down, you really need to score goals. So
True,
I
true.
understand that you don't want to make it easy on the other team. You want to make it difficult. I just think what I saw last year in the comeback Cats year was that they never stopped attacking. When they were up, when they were down, it was always the same. And when it happened that they fell down, it didn't matter, and they had multiple 4-goal comebacks with that. And I think that's what's sort of missing from the Panthers this year is when they get down, they don't they change it up. They don't keep attacking. They play much more conservatively, which is kind of silly to me.
Yeah, we have a goal here, guys.
Oh, is that the case, huh?
Yeah, we have a
Yep,
goal
there it
here.
is. And you see Buffalo, another rush chance.
Not
Someone can get to the Panthers here.
No, it's not right now.
Is that Owen Power? No, he didn't
No,
score.
it's Henry Yoki Haru, who is
Hardy.
not known at all for scoring goals. Um, I will say we're looking at a coach's challenge though here.
Is
We
that
have
offside?
an official coach's challenge on an offside. So we're gonna have to take a look at
We
this.
might. Oh, it's close. I mean,
Oh wow.
I think if it is
I
offside,
think it's offsides. I think it's
maybe, but
offsides.
that's a bailout for the Panthers because I mean, another grade A chance off the rush that they're giving up. Even if it was, a second offside, which it looks like it is.
It looks like it.
It looks like it is. Yeah, that looks offsides to me. That's not really the point. The point is another rush chance that for the Florida Panthers give up, and they're not adjusting to it. They're not changing their strategy. They're giving a team that scores the most goals off the rush more chances to score off the rush.
Well, and I'll throw this though at you. This was phenomenal by Tage Thompson
Yeah.
because he knows no one on the Panthers is thinking of Yoki Haru as a threat to shoot the puck and score. I'm being honest. I mean, you have Alex Tuck. Here we got a decision coming here. We have no goal. No
All
goal.
right. It's a good challenge here by Paul Maurice.
Very good
Good move by
challenge.
him.
But like you said, that
But
sequence.
it's a great chance.
I think it's a better sequence by Tage Thompson just because he realizes nobody's thinking about Yoki Haru to shoot and score there.
And he was left wide open
Mm-hmm.
on that. And I
That's
think,
just good
yeah.
reading. That's just good reading, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate for the Sabres. I mean, it looked like it was
Fortunate for Henry Yoki.
about an inch off. but you could tell that thing was offsides.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
without a doubt.
So hey, listen,
Panthers still in
that
it.
kills a little bit of momentum by the Sabres. To think they're
Mhm.
rewarded, but then they get it taken away.
Yeah,
It can get them down a little bit.
that's always
As
deflating to have
as
both.
much as it is a game of just making split decisions and stuff like that. It gets to you mentally, as all
It
sports do.
does, of
Oh,
course.
here we go. Skinner breakaway. Great save.
My God, yeah, the Sabres come out here much sharper than the Panthers have.
Good. Well, once again, I'll say this: good response. Good response by the Sabres. Um, I have a opportunity
Also,
taken away, and they get another opportunity. Good save by the Panthers and Bobby there. Kind of lost a little bit of the puck there. It looked like,
yeah,
but
I mean, it was a good move too, like the fake the slap shot and.
yeah, Skinner with a slap shot. Who does he think he is? Thomas Vanek? Gosh. But at the end of the day, still 1-0 hockey game. We got
Yeah,
12 minutes, just over 12 minutes left in this second period.
yep, absolutely. Uh, I think there's still time for the Panthers to get in this, but
Oh,
they do have
100%.
to change things around. I mean,
They do. And they, um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like all it takes is one goal. All it
yeah,
takes is one goal. One goal, and this game is back at 0-0 with less time. Through the Panthers' eyes, it'd be like, this is our home rink. How's the Panthers' record at home this year?
it's quite good actually.
Is it
The
good?
home road split is pretty drastic. They're quite good at home and
I
quite
think
bad on the road.
that's what makes this game specifically so great is because the Sabres road record is really good.
Yeah.
And they have a really bad time just trying to get wins at home. So the fact that the Panthers have a really good home record and the Sabres have a good away record, I mean, it just builds more to this game, which I love.
Yep.
So, yeah. No, I mean, good. I'll say this too. I don't think that this is a game where you watch and you see teams struggling with the puck, like trying to like stop it, get it down. It seems like a really good day. It seems like really good ice out there. No teams are
Mhm.
struggling to like keep control of the puck. Like
Yeah.
there's no bad puck luck or anything like that as of right now. It could obviously
No.
change.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
ooh,
definitely not a sludge game.
ooh. Anderson may be
Oh
down bad
no.
here.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm thinking the player's down bad here. We had a big collision right here in the net. That's Darlene. I think he's hurt,
Oh,
and
that's
he
no
is not
good.
getting up. He is not getting up.
That's no good.
Oh, terrible by 20. Who's 23 for you guys? Is that Barkov?
Wahegi, Carter.
Yeah, cross-checked right in the back into the post.
They called the penalty, I assume.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like seeing that.
No.
Not a
Definitely.
fan. And I will say this, like, obviously, a big fan of the Sabres. I just don't like seeing the cross check from behind into hitting a player into their own goalie going into a bar. Like that's
Hmm.
yeah, he's
It's a
done.
dangerous area for sure.
Darlene is heading to the locker room,
Oh,
so that is a huge loss for the Sabres. Huge loss. Um, that is brutal. And I'd said this the other night too. Sabres had to overcome some stuff because their captain Kyle Okposo got elbowed right in the face
hmm
um, late in the game. Were able to come out with a W, but it wasn't called, right? I mean, there was no
right.
respect. Um, Turns out that player, I already forgot who it was. Alex Tuck just scored, just by the
Ugh,
way.
power play goal.
Power play goal.
Got it right back.
Got it right back. They need that because
Pretty
their young
searing and tight
young
road.
star just got hurt. I think it's great response, good leadership by the team there, going out and making sure they get this goal.
Yes, the
But
best.
yeah, going back really quick to what I was saying though, that guy gets a suspension, 2-game suspension came out today. So,
The
but here's the
goalie.
thing. Here's the thing. I think to be a successful team, you need some dirtiness on your team. I don't condone it by any means, but you got to be able to take some of those hits sometimes and get away with them. I think it's just the day and age of how hockey is played. Um, I mean, I think there is a reason why some people say nice guys don't always win. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that if you have some grittiness and a little dirtiness, look at Brad Marchand, right? I mean,
Brad Marchand.
it's a prime example of it for being a dirty player. He's a Stanley Cup champion, though, right? Let's be real here, just having it's not necessarily me just saying, oh, I want a player who's thinking about being a really really mean dirty player. It's just the player that has so much energy in his game that yeah, there are times where he goes a little bit overboard, and it's not that it's like very intentional. That's what he's thinking about before the game starts. It's just what happens out of the elements of what's going on in the game. So that's what I was getting at. Really quick to that Tuck goal, really good response. He's been having a phenomenal season of just shooting the puck. His shot has been a lot better this year. It helps a lot, especially when you're on a line with Tage Thompson. But no, I think just a really good goal there by the Sabres on the
Yeah,
power
good.
play, and I think a very big momentum goal after losing Darlene there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
Darlene is back on the ice. He is back
oh,
on the
so you
ice.
didn't lose anything.
No, never mind. Take that back. But he did go to the locker room, so
It's
maybe he
just
was
like
getting
that. I
stitched
think,
up or something like that.
yeah. I think that makes sense. Yeah, this is going to be tough right here for the Panthers. They don't come back a lot. I think they came back from 2-0 against Anaheim the other night. But I look at this and I think with the injuries they have, the way they're playing, this is going to be very tough for them just to be able to score 2 goals in this game.
Yeah. Well, I will say this as well. Outside of the power play for the Sabres, it's a 1-0 game right now.
Even
So
strength, you mean?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, even strength wise, it's a 1-goal game. So special teams has officially factored into this game.
Yes.
How many Panthers have had what? 2 power plays. Sabres have had 2 or 3.
One for the Panthers, and
1 for the
then
Panthers, then 2 for the Sabres.
2 for the Sabres.
Okay, so
Maybe 3.
3 for the Sabres.
No, maybe I'm
I'll
hallucinating.
have to look it up. I'll have to look it up real quick. We might have what? Offsides? And we're getting split. Here we're speaking of penalties, and we're gonna see some 4-on-4 hockey here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
I would look to see if the Panthers start shuffling around lines here.
Now, are they typically a team that does that?
Yeah,
Makes
they are.
adjustments every game. They just don't play them out.
Yeah, they make adjustments.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
especially if their offense is faltering like it is right now, I could definitely see some changes coming. Maybe soon, more likely in the third.
Gotcha.
I would try and attack this quickly though, because getting behind early. I mean, you still have the time. We're halfway through this game, but
So 4-on-4 here. Who do you want to see on the ice from your Panthers?
Matthew Tkachuk, you know him.
Yeah. Who doesn't know
at center? I would probably take Sam Reinhart at center.
Really?
Yeah, I would have Sam Reinhart out there.
I'd be looking for speed. Is he? There's got to be faster players than Reinhart.
Anthony Duclair, but he can't play center.
I mean, even if they can't play center.
I mean, that's actually kind of interesting if you just play Tkachuk and Duclair.
I'd try it.
You probably lose some faceoffs, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad idea. And then you try doing, Montour for some stretch passes and maybe Ekblad. Because forcing Ekblad, I think so far in this game has been easily exploited.
Yeah. See, I have for years been just on the Sabres saying you need to get speed. You need to get speed. You need that. That's the type of play. Those are the type of players you need to get in your organization because of just the new day and age of this league. I mean, it's not all skill now and being able to deke everybody out. It's about burning. You see why
Yes, it is.
Outside of Connor McDavid, I mean, we know he's great at everything. He literally looks like he's walking and he's going like 1,000 miles per hour on the ice, and
Yeah.
he'll beat defenders and edge them out. So especially when we hit 4-on-4 here, I think you want speed. So obviously they're very lucky enough to have Tuck and Thompson out there because first
Not
off,
speed
bigger
guys.
guys, but they just have speed. They have really good strides, and I think those additions that they've made over the years, that's what's helped this team. Alex Tuck, I think he's a phenomenal skater, and he's very good at feeding off of a even better skater and better play developer in Tage Thompson.
Makes sense. And I never thought of those guys as real fast guys. I think in a 4-on-4 setting, maybe you could get exploited there, but I think they're just solid enough defensively to make up for it. And maybe Carter Verhaeghe would be a nice sort of middle ground here for the Panthers.
Yeah,
because he is a fast guy and he can play center. So maybe you go there and just sort of make that work. But the most important thing is get some chances, whatever that takes.
I get it, man. So we got 2-0 here. A little bit left here on 4-on-4. Yeah, I think the Panthers just need, if anything, they need to get some zone time here.
You're playing a team on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
This is an important game in the season. You
Very
really
important
hope for
game.
better showing from this team. For a team that playoff aspirations, it doesn't. Right now, I'm obviously. Oh my God! What a chance.
Yeah. Very close. Are you talking about Sabres?
Like
Sabres there?
Yeah, the Sabres.
23 Samuelson.
Yeah, I mean, you just let him walk in.
Yeah.
I think
that's just trusting, or basically being like, hey, hopefully my goalie's got it there.
Yeah, maybe
during that play, it looked like Sabres Dylan Cousins got a little bit whacked there. I don't know necessarily. He's in some pain over on the side of the bench right now. Seems like he'll be fine, ready to go. He's just getting looked at though. Not going to the locker room, so it doesn't seem serious.
Okay. I mean, for a team with playoff aspirations, you would hope for some better showing than this. That's all I'll say. And
I agree.
I think they're not. There's a reason they're fighting for a playoff spot is because they have too many games like this, right? It's not because of the lack of talent. We know they have talents, but it's because sometimes they come out flat and they come out complacent and they don't make adjustments like when they should. And by the time they make adjustments, it's too late.
Yeah, I'm watching this right now. To me, it seems like by the way, the 4-on-4 is over. We're at 5-5 again. Shot attempts, it said 31 in favor of the Sabres, 28 in favor of the Panthers. But attempts, that's attempts, not necessarily shots. Yeah. But
it's evenly split, but it definitely just feels like the quality of those shots is much greater for.
Yes, absolutely. Just due to the odd man rushes, good, chemistry between these lines when they get their rush opportunities. And I mean, I think anytime, like you said earlier too, you have a team that just came off a game from last night, they're gonna try and hold that momentum. At least it may be a little bit easier. When was the Panthers' last game? They play last night too?
Oh, they played like a week ago last.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's been a while
off.
It's been a while. So yeah, I mean, this is
Forsling got taken down there.
Yeah. These are your games that. Oh, we have another icing here. These are your games that, even when the Sabres came off of their All-Star break, I believe they played like Calgary or something like that, and immediately it was just terrible because they had played the night before as well, and Sabres take a long break off, and then they have to play a team that just played last night after not playing or skating for like a week. That's hard. it's tough to get back in your groove on your body and stuff. So yeah, no. Well, Skinner was taken down there, but no penalty was called. Yeah, what and we've got the equalizer. The Panthers will be going to the power play.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it an equalizer there.
Well, how many? Did we ever find out how many power plays?
Penalties. Oh, penalty wise.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I'll
I
pull
see.
it up
Monts
real
were
quick.
taken down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was with Eric Stahl and Yoki Haru getting at it.
Yeah.
That's a pretty funny one.
They're showing on the camera right now. Brandon Montour, obviously an old Sabre, not for very long, but
pretty rough tenure in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was very, very rough. And you know what? They just didn't use him. They didn't have the coaching staff that understood his game, and they then. I mean, it's hard to really know what your team is about when you don't have the management for it. So, unfortunate. I mean, look at a guy like Sam Reinhart too.
Another one.
I think he was a great player. Still is a great player.
He is.
I think he's honestly a really good leader too. I just think at the end of the day, certain players were just automatically put into the spotlight. Bad management by coaching, not really the leadership they were looking for in that locker room, and it threw some of these other guys under the bus, which is just unfortunate. Because I love a guy in Sam Reinhart. I think he's a phenomenal player, very very smart IQ player too. And I think he's made a great role here on the Panthers since he was traded there a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's definitely found a home here, and I think he's been doing a great job. I just think there's just so many players, a laundry list of players you can name that were just unfairly tainted by the Jack Eichel era. Not to say it's all Jack Eichel's fault, but
it is. It is.
But the entire organization during that period was in such a rough spot that I think so much talent came in and was funneled out of these guys. And you see it when they enter new eras. It's like they're completely transformed.
Yeah. Is there a player, an old Panther that you just despise?
A player from the Panthers who I despise.
Yeah. Because we all know I despise Jack Eichel.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I mean, honestly, I would hope you don't, because that means your team hasn't been struggling like mine in the past. So, but yeah, I
can't think of anyone who I actively hate, who I blame for the downfall.
Or maybe a coach, maybe a GM in the past, or I don't know.
Oh, I mean, yeah. What's his name? Currently in Vancouver.
Oh,
Dale Talon.
Yeah.
Dale Talon. Yeah. Yes. I cannot express to you the
give me the whole background here. We're at a commercial break.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to just the utter disgust I have for the Dale Talon tenure, specifically because of what he was given and what he squandered time and time again. He lucked into so much talent and destroyed it at every opportunity.
Gosh. Yeah.
I mean, I can go through so many things. One thing I think that particularly stands out is the expansion draft for the Vegas Golden Knights. And in that, they had this is going to sound ridiculous, but they unprotected a player named Jonathan Marchessault, who was coming off a 30-goal season.
Yeah.
They left him unprotected to do the 4 defenseman protection before they did 4 forwards, 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
Instead of the 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, which was the typical way of doing things, was to protect 7 forwards and 3 defensemen, and they decided to protect 4 forwards and 4 defensemen. And one of the forwards left exposed was Jonathan Marchessault.
Yeah.
And there was no reason for this. He was a cheap player coming off a 30-goal season. He had 30 goals, and they decided, obviously, then Vegas selected him. He's gone on to be a great top 6 forward for them. They also dumped Riley Smith to them for no reason in particular. Just let him have him for a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
And then, they said, okay, well, we had to lose a couple guys, but at least now we have our defenseman.
Yeah.
They ended up trading one of their defensemen they protected, Jason Demers.
What a save. I'm sorry.
Yes, Craig Anderson's having a great game.
Sorry, I had to. That was just crazy.
No, of course.
That was crazy. All right, go ahead. Continue.
Wow. I mean, what a save on Ryan Lomberg. Wow.
You don't see goalies stack the pads much.
You don't see that much anymore, huh?
No. That's crazy.
That's a 41-year-old goalie move.
Seriously, dude. Seriously. The boys on the bench right now are probably like, dude, you ever see that live, dude? Like, I thought that was only existing in the video games I grew up playing. Holy smokes. That's insane. Well, good for them. But yeah, as you were saying.
Yes, they let Riley Smith go, and then they ended up trading one of the defensemen they protected, Jason Demers, to Arizona in exchange for a right winger whose name is escaping me right now. Jamie McGinn. Because they needed a right winger.
Man, I forgot about Jamie McGinn.
Yes, because they needed a right winger. Because they traded 2 away for nothing in the expansion draft. So that's, I think, one of the highlights.
Jamie McGinn, he played for.
Was it Jamie McGinn?
Is it Jamie McGinn? I'm thinking because he played for the Sabres.
Yeah, I think he did too.
And he played for Colorado and talking about stupid management, we traded like the first overall pick, Nikita Zadorov, JT Comfort, and someone else for O'Reilly and Jamie McGinn at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at what JT Comfort had. I mean, I know it's Ryan O'Reilly. I understand that. But giving up Nikita Zadorov, who is a really good defenseman in the sense of being physical, ready to be making a presence, and then JT Comfort, who's been phenomenal for his role in Colorado.
Yeah, he's been great.
And then losing a pick. Yeah, crazy. I like Jamie McGinn too. I mean, I thought he was a pretty good player. I mean, listen, for a bottom 6 guy, I'd take him. I'd take him all day.
He's a fine bottom 6 guy.
Fine bottom 6 guy on a good playoff team. Bottom 6, yeah.
Except they were playing him in the second line.
So. Yeah. Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were, because they didn't. I can't even begin to describe.
I guess, dude, it's so weird too, because like I think of guys who are like bottom 6, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Probably 5-8 years ago, they might have been top on their, like, one of the top players on their teams, but it's just how much the game has changed since then.
Yeah, the decline is so steep in hockey.
Yeah.
I remember Brett Connolly, a player the Panthers had, was a 20-goal scorer one year, and then the next year, first year of Bill Zito's tenure, he was gone, AHL player.
Yeah.
It's just the decline is so steep and so rapid. It's almost hard to bet on players year to year.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it yet, but the Panthers are going to be going back on the power play here.
Oh, okay.
We'll just see when they touch the puck, though.
It's great.
I will say, all right, I know it's 2-0. I know not good spirits right now for the Panthers. This game's on crack, though. I mean, it literally has been going back and forth.
Tons of fun stuff going on.
It's literally just the Panthers have not capitalized yet on one of their rushes. And that's why I think, yes, it's still I mean, let's see. We got a minute 50 left.
Yeah.
There's minute 50 left.
That's Dahlin in the box. Okay.
Dahlin in the box. They score here, down 1 going into the third. Game's wide open.
Yeah, of course. And it's great that they're getting.
I think game's wide open even if they don't score in this period.
Yeah, I think my takeaway from this game isn't so much that the Panthers, aren't really driving play. It's more that they're giving up the same kinds of chances on going the other way.
Yeah.
Like they're just And I think that's sort of why they're down.
I know you had mentioned that the Panthers have struggled in the third period,
Yes.
just over the season. Yeah, you know what? Same thing for the Sabres, but they've
Mhm.
corrected it as of recent. For example, their game last night in Tampa, they had a 2-goal lead in the third period, guys, and that was their third time that they let them come back into the game to tie it.
Mhm.
Obviously, they went to overtime and were able to come out with a win. The two times they played them beforehand, too, this season, it was the same exact thing. Like Sabres 2-goal lead and then they lose it and end up losing the game in the third period. So I will say the Sabres are, I mean, as of right now, I guess you could say, are tending to have been learning from their mistakes.
That's good. And yeah, 2 goal lead in hockey in this day and age is not insurmountable by any means.
Yeah.
It's definitely something they can do. I just don't know if they will, just because of the way this game is going, the way the season is going. I don't really have faith in them to be able to, you know, generate some consistent offense.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
So I mean, yeah, there's still time. We'll see. Um, but you do want them to capitalize on their chances a little bit better.
Yeah. Still going here. Not
Was
time
it?
winding down.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it for the second period.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Sabres. This is exactly where they needed to be. This is their safety net right now. This is where, because this is going to be a hell of 20 minutes for them to finish out this game.
Mm,
Um, if they continue the pace that they did in the past two periods, I will be thoroughly impressed and say that is a hell of a road trip for them.
yes, I
Getting
mean,
two back-to-back games against previous Stanley Cup champion and a really good Florida Panthers team, if they are able to pull it out, this is the turning point of their season.
mm,
Um, Panthers, in my opinion, right now, like we talked about, they are just, in my opinion, they're not capitalizing.
they're
They've had good looks. Like I said, this game is literally on crack. They literally probably the past 4 minutes of that period, or before we got to the 2 minute mark, they were going back and forth, just splitting
mhm,
it. And honestly, it makes you think, okay, there's no defense being played whatsoever right now. It's just a offensive clinic of how to enter a zone and get a shot on net. But yeah, no, I mean, realistically, I'm looking at this period. Really good 5-on-5 goal by Skinner, getting it from Thompson. But other than that, though, Sabres just there's a reason why they're ranked number 6 in the NHL on the power play. They capitalize when they need to, and Alex Tuck getting that goal. Yeah, it just shows you that um, that's their strength is being on the power play. So they took advantage of it, and that's a reason they have a 2-goal lead right now. It seems like there's I don't know. I mean, to me, for the power plays that Florida's had so far, they haven't had the time to get set up and get set and put, get their passes, get the Sabres thinking a little bit. They haven't made them overthink their strategy yet, which I think they can do.
mm.
Maybe in the end at this period here. What are your thoughts, buddy?
You're absolutely right. They're not forcing it the issue, and I
Yeah,
think yeah, that's 100% right. But I think it's sort of indicative of their season is they don't capitalize on the chances they can get. They're almost shocked when they get a chance and they don't know exactly how to finish the play. And I think that's been somewhat frustrating as a Panthers fan this year to see pucks hit the post, trickle just wide, a puck on a stick that goes wide. It's frustrating to say the least. And you'd think at this point in the season it'd be correctable, but it
yeah,
hasn't been. And I don't know who that's an indictment on, if it's the players or it's the coaching staff or whoever. But I think that's sort of why they're going to miss the playoffs this year is not being able to be consistent in their intent and their ability and their drive and their focus
got
because we've
you.
seen them put together for stretches.
Yeah,
And what separates a good team from a bad team is consistency.
yeah,
And right now they're not a consistent team. And I
Yeah.
think we're seeing it now when in that end of that first period, you saw they're controlling play, great generating looks, not finishing any, but again, they gave up on that in the second period. And then credit to Buffalo for sticking with it, for generating and their weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
That's what the difference is in this game, right? Buffalo was able to exploit some weaknesses that the Panthers had, especially on the rush, and the Panthers haven't been able to do the same. And that's a credit to Buffalo, and it's not a credit to the Panthers for not really adapting their play style at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're going to have quite a bit to do here with one more period left. So we'll see what adjustments are made. I wanted to ask you that real quick. Did they end up making line changes in that second period?
No,
The
I don't think
Panthers.
they did anything.
Do you
I
think that
will
this
have
is
to.
something that do you think this is something that they will do in the third here?
I do. I do
You do.
think they'll come out in the third with a little bit of a different look.
Okay. Okay.
I
And
could see, switching the centers up, moving, maybe Duclair down, something like that.
Gotcha. I thought this would be a really good time to take a look at what's going on around the league right now too.
Do it.
And honestly, some of these are pretty good for both the Sabres and Panthers. I'll start off with the Kings at the Islanders. Kings are up 3-0 right now with 5 minutes left in the second period, so they are looking in good shape. This is obviously huge for the Eastern Conference wild card hunt race. Obviously, the Islanders being that team to hold the one spot right now. If
Mm-hmm.
they take another loss here, it's another game added compared to some other teams that have more games in hand and that possibly no points for them tonight. So that would be huge, especially for the Sabres and the Panthers who are looking to get one of those spots, or who knows, maybe both those teams end up making the playoffs. Other than that, though, we've got the Avalanche at the Jets. Avalanche are up 4-1 at the end of the first. Lots and lots of production going on from that Colorado team. Dude, what can I say? You were on the money there when saying that they are not done, and I kind of labeled them off as done. But really quick, they've got a goal from Mikko Rantanen and JT Comfort, like I mentioned earlier, and Nathan McKinnon. So,
Mm-hmm.
they're star players and are just making the moves that, they normally do. Outside of that, though, Wild and Maple Leafs are tied 1-1 at the end of the second. Canadians are beating the Philadelphia Flyers, which I guess a little bit matters in our little wild card race here in the Eastern side. 3-0 at the end of the second. So that is pretty interesting. And then the Hurricanes are beating the Senators 2-0 at the end of the second. Any of those games give you eye openers or anything like that?
The Colorado Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets is
Yeah, crazy.
fascinating. Who's in net for Winnipeg?
For Winnipeg,
Yeah.
I think it's Hellebuck.
Is it Hellebuck?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. He's made 7 saves on 11 shots.
I mean, if you look at their expected goals, Colorado has 0.76 expected goals. So do you have 4 goals on that?
Yeah.
Pretty disgusting
Yeah.
goaltending there from Hellebuck. I mean, you trust Hellebuck definitely to turn that around.
Yeah.
Maybe just an off night, but yeesh.
It's only the first period too.
4 goals in the first.
Yeah. At your home barn too. That's not too pretty.
Not pretty.
Not too pretty at all. But dude, how about the Kings giving it to the Islanders at their home rink there? I mean, obviously it's not like too shocking, but I guess if you're thinking about in the sense of obviously the acquisition of Bo Horvat to the Islanders, you would think, oh, this is going to make our offensive presence that much better and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they have yet to score and down 3 at their home rink. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think their first couple games without Barzal, they're sort of that running on fumes mentality where, they find ways to score goals regardless. But I think it's starting to hit them that, hey, we're sort of missing our best offensive player here.
Yeah.
And Horvat can only make up for so much. And I think it's starting to show. The LA Kings, they're a good team. Credit to them. Kempe has had a great season. That great off-season move that they did, adding Kempe, it's paying off. He's been great this year. And I think it's for a team I still don't believe in. I think I was especially not believing in them earlier in the year.
Yeah.
They've proven me wrong. They've been quite good.
Yeah. It's the reason why we're not getting paid yet. But getting back into the rest of the games here, I mean, Philadelphia is not really in the consideration for the wild card spot.
I
They're
do want to talk
down.
to Montreal, actually, who is
What?
without Nick Suzuki. Montreal, without Nick
Yeah,
Suzuki, or not Nick, without Cole Caulfield for the rest of the year,
yeah,
has found a way to remain competitive. And I got to give them props because for them to establish a culture of not necessarily winning, but being competitive night in and night out is, I think, pretty encouraging,
yeah,
especially how bad they have been in recent years to not have much of a talent growth and still be growth competitively. I think it's pretty good.
yeah. No, I agree. I think it gives hope too, and we already
Mm-hmm.
know that they have some pretty good prospects on their way.
They do.
Showing up in Montreal. So they will be a team that is honestly, I mean, I'm kind of throwing them in the same look as the Sabres in the sense of they have the young talent coming, they have young talent now. They are basically waiting for the young talent on that team now to get into their prime. A
Mm-hmm.
guy like Cole Caulfield, and he's going to be that leader for those youngings coming up. And if they are able to make it work and really feed off each other, and they have the right mentality and the right guys leading that group, it'll be Montreal will be back in the playoff talk. And I honestly think it's always great for NHL when Montreal's in the playoffs. As much as I dislike them, I just think it's good for hockey. There's nothing more electric than watching a playoff game, going on in Montreal.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. And, we'll see what happens with Slavkovsky coming up. We'll see what happens with Kirby Dach, who they have.
Yeah.
They have some guys. And
Lots
it'll
of
be
lots of moves to be made. I mean, it's so interesting too, and it's sorry I'm getting sidetracked right now. They're showing that stacked pad save by
great
Anderson right
save.
now, and it's pretty funny because I'm looking at like Twitter as well on here, and everybody's like, "Is Dominic Hasek back on the Sabres?" It's pretty funny. But yeah, no, lots of stuff going on in the league. What I guess really realistically, do you have any potential moves you'd like to see as we get closer to the trade deadline? I mean, I I don't really know who to pinpoint to go places. Do you think there's still a chance a guy like Patrick Kane could get traded to like the Rangers, anything like that going on?
I think the Rangers are probably off the table for right now.
Yeah.
But I would definitely love to see Patrick Kane get moved
I mean,
to where
you look at
maybe
Boston though. Look at Boston. I mean, just made that trade and they're not retaining any salary.
you think
Do you think they're able to incorporate something in New
they
York?
would. It's possible they would need to give up another pick, so maybe 2 years from now. I don't think that's a deal breaker for.
No. I mean, the fact that you would have picked up Tarasenko and Patrick Kane in the same trade deadline. I mean, listen, if you don't make the Stanley Cup final, yeah, you're going to be probably fired. But
Mhm.
is it worth taking the risk
For the Rangers or the Bruins.
for the Rangers if they want to try and pursue of still adding Patrick Kane? I mean, I
I
think it's
mean,
off the table completely. But
let's see. So the Rangers have a first. They have Dallas's first this year.
yeah,
They have their first next year and the year after that. So they do have some draft capital that they could move. Also, some seconds. They have this year's and next year's second of their own. But the cap space is going to be an issue. They have no cap space right now. And Patrick Kane, assuming they retain 50%, you would need to move someone like. No, do you want to move Jacob Truba? Probably not. He's
yeah,
the
it's probably not
captain.
worth it. It's not worth it at that point.
I mean,
Like
maybe would they take on Barclay Goodrow? At that point, you need a third team to retain even more, which is
yeah,
possible. But Barclay Goodrow making $3.6 million. If
I
you
think
get someone to retain 75%, that could work.
yeah. Yeah,
I
I think after hearing the breakdown there, I think it's just too much to even entertain. Like I don't
yes.
think it's worth it. Um, but all right, so I guess who are our top free agents, or sorry, not free agents, top trade targets right now still in the NHL? I mean, at number one position, you would have to think it's probably Timo Meyer.
Timo Meyer is going to get the biggest return, I think. I mean, I hear St. Louis, for example, Pierre LeBrun was talking about this earlier once, was willing to give up 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
If I'm San Jose, I'm taking that and running because St.
Oh,
Louis is not going to
100%.
be
Oh,
good. St.
100%.
Louis isn't
Yeah.
going to be good for a while. I don't understand why they're going to give up 2 first-round picks. They say they're going to retool with 26-year-olds. What are you talking about? Your team isn't good. What do you mean you're going to retool 26-year-olds?
Exactly.
Why would you add a guy like Timo Meyer to be
No.
a little
I'm
bit?
not giving up 2 first-round picks.
I wouldn't give up 2 first. Timo, there's a
What?
guy like this every
What
draft.
has Timo Meyer done in his career?
Timo
Like,
Meyer's like
he's a great player. He's a great
he's a
player.
good
But what
he's
has
a
he
good
done?
top 6 forward. He's a good top 6 forward. He's been having a good goal scoring year. Every year we get a guy who becomes grossly overvalued at the trade deadline. This year's Timo Meyer. Last year was Ben Sherratt and the Panthers stupidly paid a first, and that came back to haunt them this year. But every year, a player at the deadline, their value gets spiked up out of nowhere, and it's completely insane.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. I mean, the Lightning gave up 2 first-round picks for Brandon Hagel a couple years ago. The reason for that was the salary cap, right? He was making $1.5 million for the next 2 years, and they could justify it by saying, "Look, this is an overpay for what he is, but this is a guy we can retain on a cheap deal for the next couple of years and have a valuable depth piece."
Yeah.
Makes sense. It seems to be working out because Hagel's now a 20-20 guy for them. Can you say the same for Timo Meyer? You can't.
No.
Because Timo Meyer, going to be a 20, 30 goal scorer for the next few years, is an expiring contract. You're going to have to pay him $8-9 million now.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think, especially that haul, he's not worth it because I don't think he has. Yeah, he's a great player right now in the sense of being on a really bad team. Is he a guy that is worth 2 first-round picks because he's going to be able to overtake series in an NHL playoff? No, absolutely
of
not.
course not.
Absolutely not. So why the hell would you pay? Or if you're a team, honestly, everybody's been tying the Sabres to him, right? At least that's been a team that's been brought up. I am in no position to give them 2 first-round picks. But unless you can guarantee he's going to win straight up, just himself is going to win you a playoff series by himself.
He's not going to do that.
No, of course not.
He's going to be a good player in your top 6 for if you resign him at $8.5 million, presumably years to come. But someone might even overpay for him and pay him $10 million, and now you're stuck with Timo Meyer at $10 million.
Yeah.
So he's a guy. I think he's a trap for whoever makes that move. You're getting trapped.
So let's see. We've also got Brock Besser still out there.
I do love Brock Besser. Yeah, 5.5.
I feel like every like NHL fan just loves his game. He's just like he's probably an awesome locker room guy too. Like Brock Besser, just to have him in your. I think honestly, I think he would be a more valuable overall player than Timo Meyer for a team that's trying to have success in the playoffs. Just because I love his overall grittiness in his game a lot more than Timo Meyer. That's just my opinion. Obviously, I think the more skilled player is Timo, just because of, his offensive production. But
yeah, the production is definitely there for Timo Meyer. We've seen it more. I think with Brock Besser, it's a little more theoretical. Trying to get him out of a bad situation. You see the talent there.
Yeah.
But at 5.5, can you get? I mean, there's 3 years left on that $5.5 million deal for Brock Besser. Can you get Vancouver to retain some? If so, would you give up a first? Would you take that chance? I don't know. I hope so.
That has to be perfect fit. It has to be a perfect fit.
Right.
It's not just a trade that can happen with any team. It has to be the perfect fit. Because there are some players out there where it's just like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just take this trade because it's offered. It's not. It has nothing to do. It's basically a first come first serve basis. Like they just want to get it off the books. For that though, it would have to be a perfect trade. Hey, real quick, let me know as soon as they take their face off because I'm going to pause this and I'm going to click it when you
Oh, okay, that works. I'll
do
let
that. I didn't think about that earlier, so we'll
just
be on
be
the
for a
same
second.
page. Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, this is our first live reaction pod here, so give us a little
I
bit.
can't believe Craig Anderson stacked pads. That's insane.
Dude, I know.
That's
I
insane.
honestly love it though. I
I
honestly
do
love
love it, but
it.
this
Stacked
really is the
pad
nineties, huh?
Anderson, baby. Yeah, just let
That's
me know. Let me know when they're about to
all right.
drop here.
They're about to drop. I'll let you. They dropped.
Okay.
All right, so now we should be more or less on the same page.
Okay. I'm at 1950. Wait, no, that's doesn't make sense. Oh wait, yeah. 1944.
1941. So
Oh,
yeah,
see, now you're ahead.
3 seconds
Oh,
behind is fine.
oh, oh,
Three seconds and
I can
30
catch up.
seconds.
I can catch up. I can catch
Okay.
up. But yeah, no. Big period here for the Panthers. Need to get back into it. Obviously their their power play just expired, but still got a full period here.
Yep.
I think they just need the one goal. Get the one
Yep.
goal in.
100%.
They're right back in it.
Yep. I agree. I think they can get it. I I just that's is that a penalty? No, I thought that was a penalty.
The offsides there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, you're
offsides.
calling offside. See, this is better. Now we could actually like talk
Yes.
about it. I just like played.
All right,
That was
working out the
brutal.
kinks.
That was brutal. The first two.
Working out the kinks is no problem.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, good luck. They just could not
Good.
complete.
I think that was I believe that was Matthias Samuelson by the Sabres there making that defensive
Very
play
good
there.
defensive play. Probably saved the goal.
Yeah. It was really good. Really good look there. Um Now this is a big line here for the Sabres, their kid line. Cousins, Quinn, Paterka. We've talked about Paterka and Cousins being rookies. They have died
Mhm.
down tremendously
Yeah.
since we've talked about them last. And I think that is the reason why the Sabres have struggled a little bit. Yeah, they had a good little hot streak earlier in the season. But since they've gone down, yeah, they've kind of lost it because now it just relies that much more on that top line of Thompson, Tuck, and Skinner. So they still have a really good center in Dylan Cousins. He's the only one
Mhm.
producing basically on that line goal wise. Ooh, really good
Oh
opportunity
goodness,
there. How do they not? They not call that? They call a whistle?
they blew it.
How do they blow?
Well, the Panthers come out much more energetic in this period. Good credit to them.
Yes.
They've started creating. Look at Lomberg. Lomberg is a player that the metrics do not love what he's been doing, but the eye test, he's always incredibly active and incredibly, I think, beneficial to a team because he's always given 100% and always putting pressure on the opposing team. So I wonder, as a depth forward, I'm not really sure what his knock is that
Yeah.
would give him like a bad advanced analytic rating.
Yeah. What does your screen say for time?
1736.
Let me know when it says 17:20.
Okay.
Give me a countdown to like three, two,
Okay.
one.
1725 and 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Now we're in
Now
now
we're
we're in sync, buddy. We're in sync now. It only took us 2 periods and some change to get it figured out, dude. Oh yeah. Only the best here at ATB.
nothing but the highest of tech.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Um, yeah. So let's see here. I mean, under 17 minutes left in the period. I'm liking the Sabres game so far. Obviously, they just iced the puck here. They the only thing they have to do is not shoot themselves in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
But this does not mean you take your foot off the pedal. You have to keep coming. You have to keep taking your offensive strides, get some zone time. I'm just saying you don't have to go above and beyond and start pinching because if anything, the Sabres give up a lot of breakaways, a lot of 2-on-1s due to pinching and having such offensive-minded defenseman. Realistically, the only one who's just an all-around defensive mind is Lyubushkin on this team.
Hmm.
You have Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin, two first overall picks, known for their offensive play, and just being able to jump in. That can sometimes hurt them, especially a young kid in Owen Power who is just getting his feet wet here in the NHL level in his first 82 game season. So that has hurt them from time to time. Other than that, you got a kid in Matthias Samuelsson, just got a contract extension from the Sabres. He's a really good player, good defensive guy. He's able to come up in the play. He's not going to be your shoot first guy.
I think it's going to be interesting that for this team. I sort of see your point, not shooting yourselves in the foot, but when you have this group of players, it makes sense to me, especially with their offensive defensemen, to just play like you're down 1-0 instead of up 2-0.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and that's what all the players preach about that too, because they
Mhm.
say Don Granato just his message is play free. Don't get nervous. Don't do that. Just keep playing to score. But that's the reason why sometimes a lot of teams have beaten the Sabres or are easily able to get back into games is
Sure.
because of those pinches late in scenarios like this where they're up 2 goals, 16 minutes left. They start pinching. They get a 2-on-1. They're right back in the game.
That makes sense because they're young. Speaking of two
Yeah,
on ones, oh,
that was a
great
really
save.
good
Um,
save there.
yeah, well, stopping that 2-1. But that makes sense because they're a young team and they're not going to be as maybe
Yeah.
sharp in those areas. But I think long term it makes sense. Do you think Don Granado is the long term fit at coach?
That's hard to tell right now. We're
Mm-hmm.
just real quick. I want to take a look at this. I want to see what your defender did here. Completely just isolated. Who was that? Ekblad? Did he
Uh,
completely isolate Thompson there and force Skinner to take the shot?
I couldn't see who I
Let's
think
see
it was
here.
Ekblad. Yeah.
I think it was too. So yeah, really good move by Ekblad. And once again, goalies coming out far to face the shot.
Yeah. Both
That's
goals
been
playing very well today.
storybook of the game here. But getting back to your question, Don Granato.
Yes.
If he takes the Sabres to the playoffs, it is still not set in stone. He is long term. Yes, it's a
You don't think so?
great no, because it's phenomenal that he got this group out of the drought,
Mm-hmm.
got him into the playoff scenario. I still doubt his tactics from time to time, especially with younger players and how he treats them in the lineup, and also him just mixing up the lines. It's been interesting to watch. Other than that, though, the reason why I'm getting at that is because before he took control of this team, the he's gifted Rasmus Dahlin. He's
Yeah.
gifted Owen Power, two first overall picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you have two first overall picks on a team, I don't care what position they are, down the road, as soon as they get older, I would hope that they're making the playoffs,
Yeah.
or there's going to be some issues wrong. They went out, and I think Kevin Adams did a phenomenal job of getting rid of Jack Eichel, not retaining any money from him, and getting a guy like Alex Tuck, a physical guy who can really stretch the ice and has a pretty good IQ, is able to pick up a guy in Peyton Krebs. I think at the end of the day, there's just a
Geez, good
lot
chance here.
great chance by Dylan Cousins, good
Using
rush, good
speed,
speed.
using speed to get back off that defense and create a chance, even when you're up 2-0. That's the way
Yeah,
forward.
exactly. But at the end of the day, though, I think I'm just saying his job is not for sure secured. I think as soon as we get 28-year-old, 29-year-old Darlene, right?
Hmm.
If we get down that stretch and we're still not making, the hump into getting to the conference finals, anything like that, I think there could be a change immediately.
Right.
I just, and I love him. I think he's a really good individual. He has a phenomenal story too. He's been through a lot, just in his personal life outside of the game. So I always root for Don Granado. I will mention that.
Hmm.
But Yeah, I think it's his first time being an NHL head coach too. I mean, you got to give him
Mhm.
some years, right? So I can't go out and banter him and just be like, "Oh, well, he didn't get this done yet." We still don't know. As much as we are watching this team bloom with its young talent, we're watching Granato bloom and becoming an NHL head coach.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's definitely two different, depending on the type of team you have, coaching is two different jobs, right? And I think for
Yeah,
the Sabres right now, it's getting young guys to play NHL hockey. That's one job. And then there's another job, which is getting veteran players to play playoff hockey.
yes,
And
yes.
there's a step, right, from young player to proper NHL player to playoff player. And getting a player,
Ooh,
oh my
that was a
God,
great look.
great look. Getting a coach who can manage to make both those transitions, I mean, that's rare. That's 1 in 6 coaches can do that.
Yeah,
You have 6 guys in the league who can develop young guys and create a playoff roster. That's really
I
rare.
agree. Well,
But
and
so if
go ahead.
he's a guy that can develop young players, that's the guy you need right now. But when the playoffs start becoming an expectation, maybe a different guy is needed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's why the reason he's had such success is because he's good with dealing with, I'll call them kids. I mean, because they are.
Mhm.
He,
Yeah.
he he's good with the younger crowd. I don't know if he down the road would be able to handle that older, mature locker room.
Hmm.
Just at least, you know, getting the motivation. But then again, he's never dealt with it, so that's
Right.
why I literally say I can't say anything on it just because he is slowly going through this process as much as these young kids are too. So, yeah, definitely, like you said, though, I think he's got the importance. Oh, that's great
Oh,
shot.
come on.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Great shot. And a little
Back in
scrub
it.
after there, too, eh?
Back in it. Carter Verhage.
Did
Mr. Reliable Carter Verhage. Whenever the Panthers need a goal,
did
he's there.
Duclair get a point there?
Yeah, he was the primary assist.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
There he goes, right?
That's what you need right there.
Come on.
Beautiful,
All right.
beautiful pass, good place shot. That's
Beauty.
that's what you want right there, and that's gives us a little extra there
Off
too.
the
Trying to act like the big dog. I mean, hey
Come
man,
on.
that's what you're gonna do right there, man. That's how you get back in this game. Um,
Yep, we have a game.
we have a game. We do have a game, and it's a lot of hockey left to play here. So now this is going to be a huge shift for both teams coming
Yes.
off this goal here because this is the momentum setter right here. Who's taking the advantage? Who's going to give in? Who's going to go out and dominate? That's what
Yep.
we got to see here. So should be an interesting next couple minutes right here.
And it looks like Buffalo's taking the lead.
Thompson, good
Oof.
look there.
Very good look.
Looks got deflected.
Oof.
I think, yeah, this is a pretty interesting game though.
All
Just
right.
back and
Pretty
forth
fun
from
game.
commercial break right here. I told you, man. I mean, all it takes is just that one goal, and they're right back in it. And at the end of the day, that's an even strength goal for them. So good for
Yep.
them getting that. They could still have some more opportunities on the power play to come. So we got us a game here, buddy.
We
We got
have
us a
a
game.
game. 10 minutes left, and it is on.
It is
Finally.
on. Well, I think too. This is where we're going to start to see some factors from the Sabres of playing back to back. I think we're going to
Yes.
maybe see the legs going, but who knows? I mean, they might just be off of that adrenaline of winning an OT winner against Tampa last night and be like, dude, let's finish this right now.
Mhm.
Let's go out there and finish this. So who knows? Maybe they'll find some adrenaline, but at the end of the day, it is hard playing those back to back on the roads.
It is.
So, we'll see. But hey, right now Panthers they're looking good. They got the confidence. Finally saw one get past Anderson, and I will say both goalies have been playing pretty well.
Very well.
So
Very good.
I don't know what the stats are on that right now. At least shot total and save percentage. I think is it pretty even? Let's see here.
So I'll tell you right now.
Anderson, 32 saves on 33 shots. So he's playing, yeah,
Exceptional.
.97 save percentage right now.
Yes.
It's pretty good. And then Bobby is 20 saves and 22 shots.
Not great
So,
numbers, but I think he's playing better than those numbers suggest.
yeah, I mean, I will say, Craig Anderson, though, facing 33 shots, That,
So one thing the Panthers do is they get shots.
and I'll tell
They
you,
get shots per game.
going back to like I was saying too, the whole Sabres trying to do this three goalie tandem thing. It's so hard for these guys to get right back in sync of playing if they've
Right.
been sitting for games and games. Obviously, it's been mainly UPL and Anderson as of late. Comrie got the start last night. So even though, yeah, they have experience, it's like I haven't played in an NHL game in like maybe a week. It's
Mhm.
like they're getting an all-star break literally every week. So,
Yeah.
and
It's,
it's
can't be-
interesting, but I mean, good performance by Anderson. The thing is, can he close out though? That's going to be the question. Can he be good enough to close out and make the big save when it matters?
it's going to be interesting. I wonder. I mean, he's been playing great so far, and I think he's got it in him. Coming off that long break he's had, Oh my God, who got hit there?
That looked like
Kachuk.
Reinhardt got hit by, I believe, Samuelson, who's a pretty big
And
boy.
now Samuelson got taken down by Lundell,
Yep.
and they didn't play on.
Honestly, this is what you love, though. I think both. I would hope both referees realize what this means for
My
both
God.
teams down the stretch here, and they just let them play because I
Yep.
think it'd just be great hockey to watch.
They are just letting them play.
Ooh, Darlene looking hurt there. Looks like he was holding his knee
Let's see.
a
So
little
first
bit.
thing here, Verhage gets hit. And that could be a boarding call. Oh no, I'm sorry, Reinhardt.
Yeah, by
That could have been a boarding
Samuelson.
call. Yeah, by
Yeah,
Samuelson. That could have been a board. And then Lundell knocks him down.
looks like playoff hockey out there, huh? And then
Looks
yeah,
like
knocks him down,
hockey.
knocks
This
him
is
down there.
essential. This is a playoff game.
Yeah, and
I gotta say,
Thompson gave Kachuk a little hit from behind there
yeah, he
too,
did.
giving him a little taste of his own medicine.
Uh,
Let's see what. Oh, 2-on-1 coming here for the
2-on-1
Sabres.
developing for Buffalo,
Oh, not able to get
and
it
they
through.
blew it.
Good opportunity though. Good look. Good
Yep,
defense there by the
absolutely.
Panthers, staying with it when a crucial time.
Yep,
Sabres gonna try and
good
take a
luck.
look here,
Great look, and they
getting the shot. Yeah, these goalies are standing tall. Dude, this has been one of the better games of the season. I will say. I will say. It may not be
20.
the high scoring. It may not. If you're just a fan of hockey, though, I
It's
mean, you got
fun.
to
It's fun.
turn on this game if you're not watching
Oh
it right
yeah,
now. It is fun to watch. Lots of talent, and it's always better when you're looking for teams that are fighting to just have a playoff berth.
absolutely. Yeah, watching this game, I got to say, Owen Power looks like a future number one defenseman.
Well, I will say I think he's on better track being a rookie than Darlene ever was,
Right. Yeah.
which is super exciting for Sabres fans. Um, there are times he makes mistakes, but I'm like, yeah, he's essentially a rookie still.
Yeah.
So, he did play a little bit last year. I like that. We're just getting shots on net there too. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good for the Sabres. But yeah, no, I mean, Power. I think we look at the size of him, right?
Hmm.
Imagine when that guy is like matured and like 26, 28 years old, has NHL weight on him and can grow a beard. Like that dude will be able to do some damage to some individuals down the road. And
Yeah.
and the reason why I say that is a lot of people aren't thinking, okay, he's going to be a physical guy. Nobody thought Darlene would be, but as of this past year, he has been getting chippier and chippier and chippier,
Hmm.
turning into that guy that people are starting to hate to play against. I
Hmm.
mean, it's little things, sticks getting underneath like their arm and stuff. It's yelling at people, the back hits, the back checks that he's
Hmm.
starting to get away from, and that's what I've been wanting for a while. And if that's who Owen Power's learning from, gosh, I mean, them in their prime, that's scary. That's scary.
I've never seen a defenseman 6'6" with his body that has the
Yeah,
offensive skill that he
yeah,
has. I mean, I really genuinely hope he develops properly and develops into an all caliber defenseman because he can be Kale McCarr, but Giants, and
yeah.
that's really
Well,
awesome.
if I was to describe it, it's like a newborn puppy. They don't know their body yet. You know,
Hmm.
they're learning to walk. They're learning to do basically everything, right? Just at and it's the same thing with Owen, just at the NHL level. So I love it, and I will say this: I am there. the one player I do get on a lot is Kyle Okposo for the Sabres, just
Mhm.
because he's outdated. I mean, but at the end of the day, he's the perfect fit for being a captain on this team. I think he's done such a phenomenal job with these young guys on the Sabres. And I think I now realize why he's still around and he's still the leader and captain on this team. And
Mhm.
I think he's done a tremendous job of just taking care of these guys. And you hear it from the locker room, just how much Oki means to that group and especially to the young guys. So
Mhm.
what a goal! Let's go, baby!
Kidding.
Skinner with the second,
Oh, you're
second of
kidding.
the game.
Oh,
Wow! Holy
brutal.
smokes! There we go.
You want to challenge that one?
I
Goal
want to dance
interference,
with
maybe?
somebody. Play it. Whitney Houston, his goal song, baby.
Oh,
That was beauty.
God. Let's
That's
see
a
it.
beautiful.
Goal
That's a beautiful
interference, goal
goal, though.
interference. Not even. Oh, my God. Not even close.
Wait, I gotta
Just
see it. I gotta
perfectly
see it.
placed shots.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that's a snipe shot. Did he
that.
hurt himself? Wait. Did he lean the net back? He did. I is that going in if he doesn't lift the net?
I don't know.
I think that might have hit post, dude.
That's crazy.
It's very close. If you look at that, if he does not lean back on the net and it goes up, that might have hit the post.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You
absurd.
clear. Oh. Mm.
Well, this is go time now for the Panthers.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably it for them. If
Well,
I'm being honest, I know it's not
yeah,
impossible
yeah,
for them to come back, but
yeah.
they had a spark and that kind of killed it, if you ask me.
I agree. Especially giving up like there's one thing to give up like a power play goal, but if it's an even strength and it's like a corner snipe like that,
Yeah.
those are hard to get by momentum wise. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're scoring from everywhere. It's not just them getting lucky or anything like that. It's like they are just scoring from everywhere. Great shot by Skinner. He hits those side shots very well. He's done that very well in his career. Um, I, I don't blame. I don't know because literally, if you look at it, Bob is backing up into the net, lifts it up, and the puck goes in, be like after the net had been lifted. I wonder if it would have been close.
Would have been close.
That's crazy.
And that is why you continue to attack, even if you're up.
That's right. That's right.
Because the best type of defense is another goal.
Yeah. So we got 24 goals here for Skinner on the season. 6 away from another 30 goal season for him, which would be phenomenal,
Yeah.
especially for a rebirth of his career after some people said he was completely done after the one season with his 40 goals, and then potentially got down to
Another chance?
I think it was like 13 goals. Yeah, it was a very good look there by um, I think Middlestat got that over to
Mhm.
Quinn. So good look. We'll see what the Panthers are doing here. What a move! Who
One.
was that? Who is that?
Come on.
That
Good
was a
luck. Good luck.
great look.
Good
Great look
move.
there.
Yep. But yeah, I mean Jeff Skinner, definitely not a $9 million player, but it's nice that he's who was it? It's nice that he's valid. Eric Stahl
That
turning
was
back
that
the
was
clock.
Eric Stahl.
Oh ho!
Fun fact: ex Saber Eric
Ex
Stahl, by the
Saver
way,
Eric Stahl.
for one season. Oh gosh. No, that was a good look though.
Yeah, it
That was a
was.
really good look.
He's been better recently.
How old is he now though? Like
38, 38.
that's good movement for 38, dude. That's really good movement.
3 goals, 7 assists in
Good
32
for
games
him.
as a Buffalo Saber.
Yeah. Yeah. What a mess that was. Ralph
Mm,
Kruger. Oh gosh.
Ralph.
We literally hired a soccer coach as our NHL coach.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
No, not at all. We brought in Taylor Hall too that year. Oh gosh. Sabres have had some names go through their organization. I'll say that.
It
Pretty
reminds
interesting.
me. It reminds me of the Panthers back in the mid 2000s when they were just like, yeah,
Yeah.
he used to be good. Get him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be good again.
Yeah. Oh, breakaway opportunity
Go away.
here.
Come on, come on. Who is it? Maddie? Come on, Maddie.
Kachuk, good save. Good save by
Oh
Anderson.
man.
He's looking for the 5-hole there.
Yeah,
Once again, Anderson, you could see him come out way out of the net there to face him.
that's the
He's
way
like,
to do it.
if you're beating me, you gotta deke me out. You're not gonna go.
I'm taking away your angles.
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed there by Anderson right there.
Yeah.
Going out to face
Moving good
Matthew
for
Kachuk.
41.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I think this is sort of what they were envisioning.
Look
with
at.
their
I'm watching the replay right now. This
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
Stays out there. Well, there was good backtrack there though by I believe it was Darlene.
Yeah,
Making a diving stop there.
I think this is sort of what they were envisioning with their 3-goalie tandem was give Craig Anderson one game every 2 weeks, but make it the most important game of those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And have him play as good as he can while those other two guys get the majority of. So that, not saying it's the right move, but I'm saying it's sort of the vision they wanted.
I totally understand what it's meant for. Me personally, I'm not a fan because I'm trying to find the next goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres that's going to be here long term, and a guy like UPL. And so if, honestly, I'm like Comrie, Anderson, get rid of. I would have tried to get rid of Anderson. I know he's had some real bad nights. I'll just say, and then maybe it's just because he's not playing a lot and he's being sat, but he this season. This is his best game by far this season.
Yeah.
I will say.
He's been great.
But yeah, no, he's let up some real stinkers like throughout this season, and it's cost the Sabres victories. I will say, and so that's why I was a little like, oh, really? This is what's happening right now. Let's see here. We got over 6 minutes left here.
6 minutes to go.
They gotta hope. If I'm a Panthers fan and I'm on your side, I'm hoping for a power play opportunity. Get us back in this.
I wonder when they decide to pull the goalie. Paul Maurice has been very liberal with pulling his goalies very early.
Very early. So see, Don Granato's the exact opposite, which drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Like if they're down 1 goal, a minute. He'll pull the goalie with a minute left. It makes no sense. Makes no sense though. You got to give the guys time and stuff.
You got to get on time. Yeah, I agree.
Especially if you pull him. What a save!
Oh, come on!
Holy smokes!
All right, never mind.
Anderson's on fire tonight. There's no way to put it. Anderson's on fire tonight.
It's Stonewall. That's that. We're playing against a brick wall named Craig Anderson, and that's the game.
Dude, and
that's what it's going down to.
As a Sabres fan, the amount of times we've played hot goalies is insane. Like you'll have, there's actually, it's really funny. I notice it all the time. I was actually looking the stats up the other day. I think in the past 10 years, the Sabres have let up they're at least in the top 3 or maybe top 5 of letting rookie goalies get their first ever career shutouts and stuff.
That's funny.
It's that stat that always pops up, and they're also top 10 in the past 10 years for allowing rookies their first NHL goals.
Wow.
Yeah. Terrible. So every time it happens, we just get so fried and we're just there's another freaking first goal and stuff. Come on now. That was a good look too. Panthers are getting some good zone time here. They got to sustain it.
Nope, never mind.
Thump and chase here. Wait, they could get a little turnaround here. This is where
catch him in a change. Nope.
Reinhart trying to get it set up here. Good by Reinhart there.
It's set up. Oh, Maddie.
Good look. Good look, though.
They're doing good. Too little, too late, maybe. Yeah.
If I'm thinking goalie, getting pulled, they got to do it like
Yeah,
now.
3.5 minutes. This is usually around the time he does it.
3 minute mark. He might be coming now, to
Yeah,
be honest.
kind of when they like to do it.
Honestly, too. And if you have debris in your offensive zone, like that broken stick over there, yeah, I'm pulling my goalie now, making sure that stick doesn't get picked up by a
Mhm.
referee, because who knows? I mean, it could
That could
potentially
impact.
keep.
Yeah, it
I
could.
mean, it could go both ways. It could impact the goal. It could not.
Definitely could. It could stop. All right,
Yeah,
commercial break. Let's see
yeah.
that chant. Wow. Yeah. I mean, if you're playing a goal like this, that's all there is to it, you know.
Well, let's see. Since then, Panthers have had quite a few shots there. I got to see what his total is at now, save wise. So if you give me just a second. It's still 36 shots he's faced tonight. So he's made 35 saves. He's having a night. And I'd be surprised if they pull the goalie and don't get 4 shots on net here to make it 40 shots on the
Mm-hmm.
night for Craig Anderson.
40 saves.
I mean, there
Crazy.
are nights that this happens where you just run into a goalie that is just on fire. Kind of honestly shocking because the Sabres haven't really had that all season. So good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them. Yeah. But like you said, they had the juice when the Panthers scored that goal, their first goal.
It was there for them.
It was there. It was there. I think it is just something special that Skinner, Thompson, and Tuck bring to the league. They just read off of each other so well, and the fact that they're able to score from all angles, it just helps. It helps. Gosh, Anderson looks so old. He's got his mask off. He's getting water, and he looks like he's having a heart attack.
Gonna get the senior citizen discount after this.
Seriously, dude. After this, he might be like, "All right, guys, I gotta go away for like 2 weeks to the Bahamas and recover." But I'll be back. I'll be back.
Man.
That's crazy.
All right. What's left?
What's left? Watch everybody. If you're watching, keep your eye on the goalie. See when he is leaving. He's still in net. I mean, they got to get some type of fan down it. Looked like. Wow. Well, here we go. Here's their rush. I believe is the goalie going here?
Yep, looks like it.
Well, this is good. I mean, if you're in this situation, if anything, have Anderson freeze it so you can at least have your face off in their zone.
Yep.
That way you can just take Bobrovsky and bring him right into the bench and get your extra attacker out there. Yeah, but it looks like he's going to stay.
Yeah, they're keeping him out there. Makes sense.
So big face-off win. Do you take a timeout here?
No, not
unless you score.
Yeah, if you score, then you can take a timeout. But until then,
a stick into the crowd.
Careful.
A full stick just went into the crowd. You don't see that too often.
Huh?
Good save there by Anderson. Routine save. Whose stick just got launched into the crowd? Is that not a penalty? They're not showing me the replay. Are they showing you the replay?
Not with the stick.
I gotta see that again.
All right.
Some lucky fan just got a stick. That's sick.
Okay, they won a face-off. Very nice.
Want a face-off. Got to get it set up, though. Get the patience. Get the patience right now. Don't just take the first shot.
And they took the first shot.
See, even though there's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left and you're down 2, it doesn't matter. You have to establish that threat of passing the puck at the top of the line, in my opinion. I know getting shots on that is great, but let's be real. We already know Anderson's playing on top of his feet today. You got to get him moving if you want to get one past him.
100%. That's sort of been something that Paul Maurice has implemented, that mindset this year of take the shot and worry about it later.
Yeah.
They're real. Uh-oh. No.
Middle step for the empty netter.
Oh,
Save.
saved.
What a save. Who was that?
Is that Duclair?
Another save.
Woohoo!
Wow. Good looks there by Middlestat and Darlene to try and get an empty net, but two great saves.
Wow.
Was it both by one was by Montour, it looked
Montour,
like.
I think.
That last one was. Who was the first? Were they both by Montour?
They're both Montour. Look at him.
Dude, get him
Oh,
some
I know
pads,
that
eh?
hurt.
Get him some pads though, eh?
Oh, I know that hurt.
Oh, dude, that's a stinger. That's a stinger.
Yeah, I think so. That's sort of been Paul Maurice's MO offensively, has just been get pucks to the net and trying to cash in on rebounds.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an effective strategy. It's one of my biggest gripes with him this season is the lack of a cycle game, a lack of a rush game.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a sustainable way to establish offense. And I think we're seeing it in times like this.
Ooh.
Goalies swallow up the first shot, and that's sort of the end of that.
No. This is good. This is where the Panthers need to be, though. They need to get a goal now, though.
Yeah,
they're right there before they lost possession there. That's what they need. They just need that rotation. They need to start moving the puck. They just need to get Anderson thinking. Need to move his eyes, essentially. Don't have him stand put in the same placement. Do whatever you can.
Is that it? Nope.
Nope, this can be icing.
Yes, it is.
So minute 18 left here. Down 2 goals. They need to make something happen.
It's going to be tough.
If I'm the Sabres, as much as we would love to see Jeff Skinner get a hat trick, do not put him out there because he is not a defensive guy whatsoever. So, but I mean, looking at the stat right now, faceoffs won, 40 in favor of the Sabres, 26 in favor of the Panthers. Lopsided day today for that. I believe we have a timeout taken.
Yes, now they take their timeouts.
Was it the Panthers that took it, or was it Buffalo?
I think it was the Panthers.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I wanna dance with somebody.
It's a great song. I love it when he scores that.
You got it in my head now.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's good to. It was funny though during like the Christmas season, he changed it to "All I Want for Christmas Is You," which is pretty funny. So
very nice.
Skinner scored at home. Yeah.
Do you like individual goal songs, or are you a fan of the one goal song?
I'm a little old school. I always loved the identity of the team having their own goal song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I've gotten into, the individual ones. It comes down though to like, oh, in my eyes, did they pick a good goal song for themselves?
Okay.
Like. It would be funny, but like Labushkin, his song is the Gummy Bear song, dude. I mean,
if you won that game against Tampa at home, I can't even imagine.
Oh, dude, that place would have been good. It would have been a zoo. But like, it's funny stuff. Like Skinner's personality is like known as like the goofball on this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe not the one to take it serious because he's always smiling on the ice here. We got 30 seconds left.
That'll probably wrap it up. I don't think you can score 2 in 30 seconds.
But, he goes from – whoa, we got to scramble. 19 seconds left. But going off of, like, Skinner, I mean, his first year of doing it, he picks Party in the USA. I mean, just funny stuff, right? And then he goes to I Want to Dance with Somebody. It's great.
Yeah.
But I think the best part about it is you get to see the personalities of all of these guys. Like Tage Thompson is fishing in the dark. I mean – you can tell he's like a country fan, so pretty cool. 20 seconds left here. Let's see.
But yeah, I think I agree with you. I prefer the single goal song for the entire team. I just think
Anderson.
Jesus. like an anthem for the whole team to
Yeah.
rally behind is a lot of fun. And that'll do it.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Oof. Rough night. Oh, wait. Some beef at the end here.
Honestly,
And the whole Buffalo Sabres team going after Tkachuk. Oh, my God.
this is great though.
Wow.
Look at Anderson taking the gloves off, dude.
Oh, my God.
dude just stopped 44 shots on 45 saves.
My
Or,
score is
sorry,
51.
opposite.
He has 50 saves tonight.
But if you remember, though, the first game of the season, this is what Tkachuk did to the Sabres.
Mhm.
And you know what? I'm all for it. I'm all for the spark of a rivalry. Look at Jeff Skinner just running his mouth. That's the other thing, too, is like even though Jeff Skinner's known as a goofball, he is the trash talker for the Sabres, which I
Oh,
love.
was it because they shot it in the net? Is that why they're
They're going for an empty net goal, I guess.
well,
But look at the
Yeah.
response here. You have Dylan Cousins just immediately go over, which when we did our player profile, I talked about how he is a guy that just doesn't take anything now, and how much that means to this team. And I love this response. I think this is also great for the Panthers too. Keeps that toughness going. But also, I think this is great for hockey. Could you imagine like this young Sabres team and a guy like Matthew Tkachuk and that young and talented Panthers team going at it for years and years to come? It'd be awesome. It'd be great.
It would be a good rivalry. We'll see. I think this loss might spark some change for the Panthers. I don't know. I don't know if the whole team's bought in right now.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll mention it one more time. Craig Anderson, guys. 46 saves on 47 shots tonight. Insane game from the old man. So great for him. But and I know you don't like to hear it because brutal loss there. But great trip for the Buffalo Sabres. Go on the road, get 2 wins back-to-back nights against Tampa and then against Florida. And I think they are now
the road trip is pretty good.
Really, really, really good. And now I believe they hold the
second
they will
spot,
hold the second spot, and they are officially back in a playoff spot since being out of it now for a couple months now. So really good for the Sabres. Yeah, I will say this too. They have a hard schedule to finish out, so they're gonna show some adversity, but they're in a good spot in the sense of they have games in hand on a lot of these teams. So as of right now, if you're a Buffalo Sabres fan, you got to be feeling good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got anything else for the Panthers, or?
I hope if anything, this loss sparks some change. I don't know what that change is, but I think maybe they realize as a team they cannot sustain what they've been doing. I hope they don't just blame it on, Barkov and Bennett were out, because it's more than that. This team could not get what they needed to in a game that they needed to win. So for me, the only thing I can take away is change. Please have change coming. I don't know if they'll fire Paul Maurice midseason, but maybe it was the last straw for him after this season.
Yeah, well, we'll see. What's their next stretch of games look like here?
They have, I believe they play Tampa next. And I will double check that for you. Next is Tampa on Tuesday, then Nashville on Thursday.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So they got some good competition coming up here, and
Pittsburgh, Vegas, Chicago. It's a tough stretch. Yeah.
They got a tough stretch, but I mean, I've been saying it for a long time, and I've dealt with it for a long time. If you want to be the best, you got to be able to beat the best.
Absolutely.
So that's just how it goes. Well, guys, we've made it to almost literally 3 hours of streaming. This was a big step up for us.
Pretty nice.
Well, fine. I think it's something that we could probably do down the road. Obviously, we wanted to test it out tonight. I enjoyed watching the game with you, buddy. Wish it would have been a better outcome for you.
No, you don't.
Not really, but either way, dude. I think we still have another game. Do we have another game with you guys?
We do.
Yeah, we still have one more time. And is that in Florida again, or is that in Buffalo?
I think it's in Buffalo.
Actually,
it's in Florida. I think.
It is. It is in Florida. Yeah. So we'll be doing this again.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Well, take care. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.